We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with more of this endless tier list. This tier list is something that's just going to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And we're going to keep going until we are done. We are here with Generation 5 now. Last time we did all of Gen 4. In the first stream we did Gens 1 through 3. This stream might either just be 5, or it could be 5 to 6. It could be 5 all the way to 7. We'll see. What I've known is that Generation 4 absolutely mogged Generations 1, 2, and 3. Just more powerful Pokemon across the board. A lot less Pokemon in the absolute, lower tiers. Which is pretty cool, you know? It's definitely a show that they like creating, the Pokemon to get stronger and stronger as the generations go. And it's going to get absolutely more ridiculous by the end of it. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So that being said, next up, it's time for Victini. All the way at the bottom of the list. If you are missing the criteria here, of course, it's going to be a mix of Smogon singles, some Battle Spot, Battle Stadium, whatever you want to call it, and then some VGC, and it is an all-time generation list. So, a big thing about that, because this question pops up pretty often, why Primal Kyogre lower than regular Kyogre? Well, Primal Kyogre is better than base Kyogre 100%, but not the peak of base Kyogre. Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, stuff like that. So, it'll just be lower, even though it is an exceptionally good Pokemon. Arceus is high because it doesn't have all the forms. Now, if it had all the forms and images, then maybe I would separate all of them. But it'd just be a lot of them in, the bottom of S tier, because a lot of them suck, but a lot of them still are just automatically better than some of the Pokemon below. But we're not going to worry about that. It's time for the victory Pokemon itself. Now, I'd better hope that it can get a victory here. Because, Victini's okay. I don't hate Victini. I don't think it's like a goated Pokemon. But it's something that's always going to be there in OU-ish. It's going to hit hard. I just think that its only thing ever is that it never really had too much going for it, outside of OU. I feel like I could probably put it better than the bird down here. I really want to put the Galarian Zapdos. The more and more I look at it, I want to put it even lower. Maybe a tier above Staraptor. Victini feels like the most B+ Pokemon ever. Never quite had the heights of something like a Jirachi or earlier generation Celebi. Would I say Celebi's too high in hindsight? Maybe. Maybe Celebi can go here. Maybe the two can swap spots like this. I think that's cool. Victini's just always OU. Except for maybe the first generation that it came out in, surprisingly. That's usually the trend is the opposite effect. Usually the Pokemon is at its peak when they first drop it, but Victini was the opposite. Victini was not OU when it first came out. It's fine though, I don't hate it. Yeah. It used to trick me as a kid. I used to think that I'd be able to obtain a Victini as a kid, but nope. Was not able to. Anyways, we move. Snivy. Snivy is really, really strong. Snivy is a very, very strong little cup Pokemon. One of the most annoying for sure. It exists. It does Leaf Storm just like Superior. And it's extremely strong at its job. I think I'm going to go up here with the Torchics and stuff like that. Up here in E tier. I believe current gen, it is banned from Little Cup, right? So it'll join the crew of Pokemon that have been banned. Maybe it's up here. like above Elekid. It's really, 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 really good. If anything, Torchic could go up as well. Servine, middle stage. I mean, it basically does the same thing. It's just very, very similar to Snivy and Superior. They're both just going to click Contrary Leaf Storm. I think the biggest difference with Servine is that obviously it's going to be running a Violite in, you know, NFE, EUZU areas. So therefore it just could have some more natural bulk to work with. I think it'll probably go around this Togetic-ish range. Like maybe better than Togetic. Like around, like a little better than, a little worse than Lantern. It's nice, it's hard. It is what it is. Superior. Superior is gonna be around, I would say like this range, somewhere in B. Not really the heights of Weavile, I wouldn't say. Maybe like Gyarados level. I also want to raise Salamence some, I'm not gonna lie. I want to raise Salamence up some. The reason I want to raise Salamence is because Salamence is like base Salamence still. It did get banned in Generation 4 OU. So I feel like it should just automatically be higher than, you know, a Gyarados, for example. I could put it at like maybe just B+ straight up, just for that fact. I'm thinking more about it. Bottom of B was kind of underrating it. It's just current day Salamence is nothing too crazy. Either way, Superior, I think it's fine to be above Gyarados. Serp does the same thing every single time. It exists to click Leaf Storm. It exists to annoy you, glare you, and it just pisses you off, you know? But it's never been anything that's like a top tier Uber threat. I don't even think it's really ever been usable in an Uber's format, unless I'm tripping. I don't remember whatever it's been useful in that. I think its biggest selling point would probably be its like battle spot viability, if anything. So I could put it like here. That makes me want to raise these guys to go above Mega Chomp. You know what? There you go. Above Mega Chomp right there. Tepig. I don't recall Tepig being much of a special Pokemon at all. I just don't think that it really does much. It hits hard, theoretically. I just think it's going to be an F tier around these guys. Not better than Charmander. Maybe like Wooper, Bagon level. Smoochum. I'd say worse than Krabby. Like right there. Tepig's whatever. It exists. Pignite is more respectable, I would say. I think I respect Pignite more as a Pokemon. Way more, actually. Like Pignite, I feel like should just join all the NFE guys. Like around this area. Pignite's very, very nice. Nothing against Pignite at all. Monferno, is it a whole tier below Monferno? You know what? Monferno might just drop. It'd be like the representative of D-. I don't think there's a whole like 2-tier gap between the two of them. Actually, yes I do. Yes I do. Emboar. Okay, Emboar is interesting. I mean, Emboar hits, you know, like an absolute truck. This thing has, you know, Reckless for their blitz and stuff like that. It's really, it's hard to wall it. It just kind of dies in the process of breaking Pokemon down. I feel like this thing's always been sort of in you, are you range. I think it's better than Magmortar. Would I say better than Torterra? Like here. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. It's really weird. It's had like the opposite trajectory of Torterra, to be honest. Torterra has always been more PU, NU type of area, and then randomly it's RU now. Emboar was kind of like more of that RU Pokemon, and now it's the PU. Now it's the PU Pokemon. It's really weird. They've had like opposite trajectories, but I think it's had a longer time of consistency than Torterra. Being consistently mid, you know? Mega Emboar. Unfortunately, I just don't think Mega Emboar is strong. I really don't. I think it's probably around wherever Raichu is. I'd probably use it above Raichu. Would I use it above Mega Skarmory? Probably not. So I'll just put it like C+. Not a fan of it. Oshawott, I don't recall being any like much of a game breaker or game changer. Even you don't have to be a game breaker, but I don't think it's ever even. I don't think it's ever even changed the game. You know, the most that I could imagine it doing. I'm not even sure. What is the most that Oshawott could bring to the table? It's not like the fastest water type ever. There's other water types that exist and kind of do its whole shtick better, which is probably just like hitting hard as a water type. I feel like the only thing that you could maybe give it is the ability to hit. You have Air Slash, right? So you can hit grass types, but a lot of the water types have Ice Beam. I guess you could hit Krogunk through its dry skin, but like Staryu has Psychic. You know? I think it's probably better than Piplup. So I'll put it under here. I think like Weepinbell should go above these two, by the way. And Chimecho. Honestly, Chimecho should just go up a little bit. Chimecho should go like here. Anyways, Duat. Yeah, that's a great name. What does it do? That's a great name for it. Do what? Yeah. I don't know. I legitimately could not tell you. I think I'm gonna put this thing bottom of the barrel. He's cool. He has aura. I like his design a lot. I like his design more than Samurott personally. But at the end of the day, they named him that for a very specific reason. Do what? They didn't even know when they were making them. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. I do. It's my list. Samurott is probably very Magmortar adjacent. Like when I think of Samurott, I think of wherever I'm gonna place Emboar. Or not Emboar. Magmortar. Which unfortunately is not gonna touch Emboar's heights. But I mean, this thing's always been just like in you. In like perpetuity. I think I probably put it lower. But it exists. It does the same stuff all the time. By the same stuff, I mean the same like 2 to 3 things. Really, you're either going to be a special attacker or you're going to be a physical attacker with like Swords Dance or whatever. And that's about it. You have 2 things to worry about, and it's going to do those 2 things until the end of time. It is what it is. It's fine at its job. Now, Hisuian Samurott is a different story. Hisuian Samurott is definitely a whole like special case, I would say. I would say that it's definitely up there. It's up there as a Pokemon for sure. Definitely something that you have to fear. Definitely something you have to be intimidated by. Ceaseless Edge is broken. It's probably an A- Pokemon in the short time that it's been here. Maybe B+. Maybe B+, but I feel like Hisuian Samurott. It's only been here for 2, games, Scarlet Violet and Champions, but it's a timeless addition to the game because spikes are so broken and being able to hit like a truck with having a somewhat decent speed tier and stuff like that. It's just, I feel wrong putting it in B+. Like, B+ is for like the consistently OU Pokemon, and they might have had some semblance of Battle Spot viability, but Samurott is just him, you know? You could maybe see top of B+ though, but I feel like A- is better. I'm gonna raise Rotom Wash some, by the way. Like a couple spots. I think Rotom Wash at that level doesn't fully respect its legacy. I might put it right here. Even above Aerodactyl, maybe. Even above Chansey. I'm maybe even thinking above Mew. Okay, that might be crazy. Mew still has Gen 1, Gen 2 Ubers. Okay, there you go. A minus. You'll stop right there, Rotom Wash. I think I was disrespecting it a little. Okay, well, this Pokemon deserves no respect. That is a freaking Patrat on my screen. Next up is Watchog. I don't think it's... Maybe you're the new gatekeeper. I don't think it's quite as, like, utterly useless. It's just not good. It's just not good. Nah, you're gonna go next. I don't care. Bottom of the barrel. Lillipup. I love Lillipup. Lillipup, I always loved getting it in Pokemon Black and White or Black White 2. It's just... Its problem is that it doesn't really have much going for it in terms of abilities. I really don't like its abilities. Of course, Vital Spirit is cool, not being able to be put to sleep. But when other normal types just always have something broken about them, unfortunately, you're going to join them, you know? Herdier is a weird one. Herdier is a weird one where, unfortunately, it's not really a thing in NFE. And, like, the only tier you could consider using it in, because of, like, Sand Rush or something, Stoutland also pretty much occupies, you know? So it's also going to go in bottom of the barrel. Gen 5 really did not cook with the normal types. The early normal types, unfortunately, it's just not the spot for them. Big Stoutland, though. I think Big Stoutland deserves to be where all the other PU Pokemon are. I put it above Licky Licky. I'd put it... It's more scary than a lot of these PU Pokemon. Like, I put it above Probopass, but not above Rotom, maybe. Yeah, I think this is fair. Maybe above Rotom. It's one of these two. It exists. It has Sand Rush stuff, which is, like, its biggest boon. But you also have Scrappy. You know, you also do have Scrappy with Choice Band stuff. You can hit like a truck. So you have two, like, versatile abilities, like, they're very different from each other. One is used to sweep late game, the other is just for pure wall breaking. But when it comes to Purloin, it has, you know, the ability to annoy you really hard, but just utility stuff with Prankster. Also having access to knockoff naturally, being resistant to knockoff, having U-turns, being able to pivot around. I just think it's below average as an LC Pokemon, but still high enough to where I'd put it above a lot of these guys. Like, maybe around Trico area. Maybe lower than that's fine. Maybe a little higher. Like Meowth. Have it next to its fellow cat. How about that? I think I would do that. Liepard? Liepard's an interesting one, because even though it has Prankster and stuff like that, and it is used, Prankster is used with it, this thing can be used in many more ways than just being like a utility bot. This thing has Choice Bandit sets, this thing has just full-on physical attacks without being Choice Bandit, this thing can run Nasty Plot, this thing can set up Sunny Day, this thing can just annoy you with Thunder Wave. I'm glazing it, but it's gonna go probably where all the other, like, lower tier Pokemon are. Would I say it's better than Stoutland? Probably. The cat's better than the dog. I feel like that's not the craziest take. Maybe above Rotom. Above both Rotoms. There's no way that any of these guys are real. There's no way that any of these Pokemon are real, okay? I refuse to think... I refuse to think that Pansage... Okay, Pansage of the three is definitely going to be the best. It just has to be. I'd say I would use it over Tepig. Maybe like right here. Better than Baneri. I think I have Baneri too high, by the way. I put Baneri down here. Pansage has Bullet Seed, which just automatically makes it more useful than a lot of other little cut Pokemon can potentially be. It is what it is. Multi-hit moves are crazy. That's something that I don't think Pansear or Panpour can really say for themselves, unfortunately. So wherever Pansage is, I think Pansear is just gonna be a spot below. Like I wouldn't use it over Chimchar, Lotad, maybe over Bonsly. Panpour is just gonna fall into the same, you know, the same problems of a lot of Pokemon. The only thing that gives it something different over a lot of the other water types that I've talked about, like Oshawott, Piplup, stuff like that, is that it does have Nasty Plot, which is cool. I'm gonna rank the other evolve forms, but I just want to get these two out of the way because they were here. I don't think I'm gonna put it on the same tier as Simisage. Simisage I put where F tier, right? I just don't know where I put him. I don't see him. Oh, he's right there. Yeah, I'm gonna put it probably above Pansear down here. Like worse than Machop. Right there. And a little gap separator between these two. Why not? Nasty Plot at the end of the day is cool, but it's just way other more Pokemon are way more consistent. Now when it comes to evolve forms, I mean we could just go backwards, I guess. Simipour is basically what Panpour does in Little Cut, but it does it in the other upper tiers, and probably just does it better because of the stats just overall being more superior. I would put it as not like the worst thing ever. I'd put it above maybe Wailord and Luxray, like under Kecleon. You know, it exists. It's a terror in like ZU, maybe under Pinsir, like right there. And maybe under Mr. Mime. Oh, over Bibarel. Simisear? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Simisear is scarier between that and Simipour. Because it just has... I think having access to Grass Knot, having access to Focus Blast, I think these things complement fire typing a little more. You know? So wherever the water guy is, this one's just gonna be above it. I'd probably put it, like, relative to it. Better than Pinsir. They're pretty close to each other, but... a little higher up. Like, down... near Huntail. How about that? At the end of the day, it clicks Nasty Plot. It hits really, 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 really hard. And I mean, there's not much else to say about it. You don't really have to think too hard about it. Simisage. It's the grass type one. Simisage is an awkward one where it's also just in the exact same position as the other three, and I'm just gonna have to make some minor distinction to give them a tier separation. I think they're all still E tier. I think I'm more afraid of Simipour than I am of am I? Maybe worse than this guy, Cacturn. Right here. That's fair enough. Munna. There's no way that Munna's real. There's no way that Munna is a real Pokemon. That's like... I don't know. I don't know who is scared of Munna at any point. At any point in their lives, you know? I don't know what this thing does. I don't know if it's the bottom of the barrel, but I just don't know if it does anything. I'll put it, like, above Shinx. It has to be more useful than Shinx. It simply has to be. Musharna is cool. I know Musharna had that one... doesn't it have that one time period where you could use this thing with, you know, electric terrain or grassy terrain and stuff like that? It's probably around wherever Galarian Rapidash is and just drop the spot by one. So Galarian Rapidash is right here in E, the pretty pony. I'm gonna put it... how about... it's gotta be more useful than Lopunny, like 100%. Base Lopunny is bad. P-Dove, there's just... I refuse. I refuse to believe P-Dub is useful. Unfortunately, just flies into the normal flying type category, which means you have so much competition by default. There's not really much that you can do. Tranquil is bad as well. I think it's just going to join it. Unfezant, I think Unfezant is going to be the one Pokemon that doesn't end up just in bottom of the barrel. At the end of the day, it can still hit hard compared to the rest. It's just a bit, which Unfezant form do I pick? I feel like more people recognize this one. Definitely, like, above Regigigas. I think it's better than Noctile. Would I say better than Bibarel? Probably. Maybe, like, around Kecleon. Like here. Unfezant can hit hard. I don't hate it. Let's see. Who is this? Blitzel. I've always liked Blitzel. 100%. But when it comes to competitive, unfortunately, the problem with it is that it's just like worse than Elekid. So when Elekid exists, this thing's only niche is that it has Sap Sipper. So unfortunately, it's just going to be wherever Elekid is, but a tier down. In a vacuum, it's not such a crazily bad Pokemon. It's just... it's probably more useful than... not Chimchar, not yeah, probably like more useful than Aeron, I guess. Or Wooper. Bagon. It's just worse Elekid, pretty much. Unfortunately for it. Zebstrika. The Supercell Slam incident. I think when it comes to Zebstrika, it's probably just going to be around wherever I put Electivire. Where did I put Electivire? E tier? So yeah, it's going to be around there, but just a few spots higher. Like maybe higher than Tangela or something like that. Good electric type, nice and fast. Has access to overheat, which is cool for hitting the grass types that would otherwise resist its attacks. I don't know if this thing has this thing appeared. Oh yeah, it's current Supercell Slam stuff. Yeah, it hasn't appeared in anything other than ZU throughout most of its lifespan, right? Maybe like PU and stuff. Roggenrola. I think when it comes to Roggenrola, it's a sturdy Pokemon. You know, at the end of the day, it might be able to do something. It has access to, you know, Rock Blast, strong move. I think I wouldn't put it in bottom of the barrel. Probably put it like right here. Maybe lower than Tara, lower than you. Above Ekans. Above Ekans. This is Boldore, right? Still no access to any sort of a sand stream or anything like that, unlike Gigalith. I think this thing is legitimately bottom of the barrel. It's just bulky rock dude. It's probably one of the most forgettable Pokemon ever, by the way. Like, stop the music. This thing's probably one of the most forgettable Pokemon ever created. Boldore, bro. Like, I remember its name. I can sort of remember its design, but all I think about when I see it, it's just like middle form of Gigalith. That's it. I don't think about it as its own Pokemon, unfortunately. There might be some Boldore fan out there, but I don't know. Gigalith. Gigalith should go definitely above Bastiodon. Maybe around this area. Maybe around this area. I don't know if it's like... I don't think it's E tier. At the end of the day, this thing can set up sand for, you know, upper tiers and stuff like that. That don't have Hippowdon allowed. Like, I'd probably go above Weezing, even. Maybe above all these guys. Like, right here. I think C- is fair enough. It sets up the sand. It does its job. It's very... it's a mixed bag. It's one of those Pokemon that's always going to be like lower tier in terms of usage, but it can bring a sand team to life whenever it wants to, you know? Without using Hippo or Tyranitar, assuming it's a format where those two are not allowed, obviously. Woobat! I think Woobat is really, really, really good. I think it's a bit of a demonic little Pokemon. It's never a thing. You see it and you're happy to fight it. I think it's definitely gonna join the E tier little cup category. Probably like better or worse than Snivy. Maybe a little better than Starmie. Or not Starmie, Snivy. So I saw Staryu and saw Snivy. I put it right in the middle. It's good. I'm pretty sure it's been banned from a generation. Might have been banned from 2 generations, but I'm pretty sure it's just 1. If you don't know what it does, it has Simple, so it just goes for Calm Mind and it wins the game instantly. Not a very nuanced Pokemon, I will say that. Now, unfortunately, Swoobat doesn't really have the same gift as Woobat has in, like, Little Cup. Swoobat just gives cancer to ZU and PU, which isn't quite the same. I would say that it's probably better than Gorbis. Maybe not Floatzel, though. Like, I'd make a little gap in between like this. I'd give it E tier. It sweeps. It does the same thing, just in ZUPU instead of being Little Cup. Drillbur is a very respectable Pokemon. I like Drillbur. It's definitely one of the better Pokemon out there. Choice Scarf Drillbur is insane. You still have access to Rapid Spin. You can set up rocks. You can do all sorts of stuff. So you're not like a one-dimensional Pokemon fully. I would probably put Drillbur around all of the other Little Cup guys, like right around this range. I think it can go like better than Stunky. Maybe not Ponyta level, but better than Stunky seems valid to me. Yeah. Maybe I drop it down 1 spot. Like better than Surskit. I don't know about better than Stunky, but it's very good. Big Excadrill. Excadrill's obviously gonna go up to this area of the A's and stuff, you know. I think I'd maybe put it above Hisuian Samurott all time. You do have to consider the fact that I'm pretty sure isn't like Sandrush just nuked from Generation 5. This thing is viable in Gen 5 Ubers, usable in Gen 6 Ubers as a lead. You could always use this thing as a lead if you want to. Really, really goated in Gen 6 OU. Cool in Gen 7 OU. This is where it got access to Z-moves, so it can start nuking a lot more of its traditional checks. Overall, I'd probably just keep it here. The only thing that could make it go lower than Samurott is the fact that Gen 8 and 9 haven't been the kindest to it. Like, it's been more of a UU guy than an OU guy in these 2 formats. Still usable in both, by the way, but I'd probably just go right here in A-. Doubles presence, like, it's not like the greatest doubles Pokemon ever, but it's usable in those teams. I could maybe go higher than Manaphy even. It's good. I think A- is probably the most Excadrill spot that you could go. Mega Excadrill, on the other hand, is not anything special. I'm not gonna lie, its piercing drill ability is cool and all, but it's not worth using a Mega for. I'd probably put it... I think it's better, like a tier better than Mega Skarmory, Mega Emboar, but that's about it. I would use it above Mega Beedrill. I would use it above a lot of these guys. Maybe not Mega Aggron, like right there. I think that's fine. B-, it exists, it's fine, it does its job. It doesn't really have a job to do, but it's okay. Audino, the EXP farm herself. So Audino exists, it is tanky and stuff like that, but it's not anything too crazy. I wouldn't ever really use it myself, but I think Wherever you're gonna put Wigglytuff, you just put it a tier above, maybe. Like above Mawile, I think it's cool. Maybe like above Probopass as well. Like right here. Right there, I think it's fine. I don't like super hate it. The biggest thing that the biggest thing that Audino has going for it ever in its lifespan, and that honestly might make it rise out of this tier. Yeah, genuinely, actually, the more I think about it. Let's bring it to the bottom of C-, and let's drop Furret down here. The biggest thing that Audino has ever had going for it is its Gen 8 Ubers. Usability. You know, like, you're gonna pretty much hard wall Calyrex Shadow. That's about all that it's ever been able to do. And I think that is enough. That's more than I think any of these Pokemon I've ever done. So, it'll just go higher than all of them. It could be the Guardian of D+, but I think very, very, very bottom of C- is okay. Mega Audino, on the other hand, now that thing, I can't say positive things about. It's more of an NU Pokemon. Is it better than Audino overall? Probably. Like, I'd probably maybe go, like, less than Gallade. Maybe right here. Or you know what? Top of C-. Base Audino at the bottom of C-, Mega Audino at the top of it. I really... Okay, I don't know if I want to say I wish this thing got Regenerator, but it kind of sucks seeing it get such a useless ability. I don't really like seeing that happen to a Pokemon. Anyways, Timburr. Very good. I think Timburr can probably go around Croagunk, Doduo, adjacent levels. Timburr is good. It might be a little higher than some of these, honestly. They're like above Surskit, above Chinchou. It's good, bulky. Drain Punch gives it constant recovery. It's a knockoff of Absorber. You know, as in, it's a Pokemon that resists it. It's not a Pokemon that appreciates having its Violite gone, but, you know, being able to resist it, it's cool. Resisting U-turns and all that stuff as well. Having a knockoff yourself. Being able to run Bulk Up or just have Ice Punch. Gurdurr. This is your age's least favorite Pokemon, I think. He really, really hates this thing. I think Gurdurr is up there in the D areas. Maybe like D+ or D-, one of the two. I don't think that it's anything too special, but I don't dislike it heavily. I would probably put it around Hitmonchan level. Maybe better. I feel like I would personally use it more than I would ever use Hitmonchan. It might Mog Inferno on the lowest of keys and Vigoroth. Like I think I like this. Pretty good. He's pretty good. I like Gurdurr. Conkeldurr or Conkeldurr. I typically say Conkeldurr, but this guy is gonna be in the lower end of B-, but could go to like a B area potentially. I think you do have to. You do have to think about Gen. I like Gen 5 VGC for it. I might bring it to around lower than Metagross level. I'm gonna raise Metagross up, by the way, just a couple tiers. I feel like it's probably maybe like worse than Fortress all time, but Conkeldurr is really. It's not even just, you know, one generation of VGC. It's not just Gen 5, but it's been. You could technically use it in Gen 6, Gen 7 VGC as well. It's always been there as that one Pokemon that is probably going to be UU or so. Or banned. It's one of those two. So I feel like this is an appropriate spot considering B- is around that UU area. So it's just Staraptor by comparison to Conkeldurr. Never really had any sort of doubles presence to speak of, you know? So I think I'll just stick with that. I forgot what this Pokemon's called, I'm not gonna lie. Is it Tympole? Tympole? Definitely up there as another extremely forgettable Pokemon. Yeah, Gen 5 has some of the most forgettable Pokemon, man. Wow. It's gonna go bottom of the barrel just for its forgettable nature. Appletoad has its ground type introduced, which definitely just gives it more usage by default, more usability. Because I believe Tympole is just pure water, but this guy's water ground. I don't hate it. I don't think it's gonna go like super up there. Maybe a little better than Lairon, maybe worse than Lairon. One of the two. Maybe like better. He's chill. He's bulky, he's got water absorb as a water ground type. That's all he could ask for. You got access to Stealth Rock, so it's asking for even more, and it's getting even more. Yeah, I don't hate it. It evolves into the demon that is known as Seismitoad. And Seismitoad is very, very strong. I am a big fan of Seismitoad. It's one of the most consistent ones. I miss it. I just called it a demon, but I miss it in this generation. I think it actually would have been really interesting to look at as a Pokemon that doesn't have that probably wouldn't have Toxic anymore. Actually, don't know. I think it probably would have kept Toxic. I think it would have kept Toxic. It probably would just fully transition to more rain teams instead of being a defensive Pokemon if it lost Toxic, but I have no idea. Generation 9, Seismitoad is not a thing. Overall, I think it's very, very similar to Gastrodon. In fact, it's probably going to be in like that Gastrodon, but maybe slightly better tier. Like, I could see bottom of B tier. This thing is always just like RU Inu, but it's always usable in some sort of higher tier, like OU and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think maybe this is too much glaze. Bottom of B. But you do have to consider, again, B+ is where I have a lot of the OU consistent Pokemon. This thing isn't quite at that level. Maybe I go like here. Like there. Seismitoad's good. A lot of people sleep on the offensive set. But that's one of the more dangerous sets in my personal opinion. Even over just it being a fat blob that doesn't take damage. But that's also what it does. It doesn't take damage. Bro. I mean, isn't this guy just really bulky, does one thing? I don't think I want to put him too high, but I don't think I want to put him low either. I would use Throw over you, maybe. And maybe Mismagius is where it stops. Throw's cool. He's a PU. I'm not going to call him a staple of PU, but he's there. He kind of exists PU, ZU. That's where I associate him most, PU, ZU, NU areas. As far as Sock goes, Sock on these. Sock is like the Squidward. I always compare him to Squidward. I don't know. It's because he's blue and he's lanky. I think he's probably better overall. But I think they're relatively close enough. I don't know if Sock escapes the D- tier, but he's probably better than Metang all time. Maybe better than Kadabra. I don't know about Kadabra. I think, yeah, D- looks okay. I think D- is okay. Sawadol. This thing has always had a very cute name. I've always liked its name, but unfortunately, the problem with it is that it only does sticky web, and that's the only thing that it can do. I feel like the only other consideration you could have, you see it does have chlorophyll, and maybe you could try and sweep a team with it, you know? But I don't... It's not going to be bottom of the barrel, surprisingly. I think it'll probably go like below Dratini. It's a chill guy. Now, when it comes to this thing, I'm going to be honest, I've completely forgot what your name is. It's Sawaddle. Leavanny is the final form. And you are... No idea. Hold on, pause the music. What is your name? This is like the first Pokemon on this entire list that I just do not remember the name of. Straight up. Swaddle. Leavanny. Swadloon? That has to be its name. That is the only name that comes to my head. That has to be its name. I mean, you're forgettable. I'm not gonna lie. Gen 5 continues its forgettable Pokemon streak. Even having Sticky Web doesn't save this thing from being just dead useless, and I don't remember your name, so you pissed me off. You're going to bottom of the barrel. Swadloon. Okay, I looked at chat. Yes, there you go. Swadloon is correct. Very cool. It sucks. It sucks. Leavanny, I just placed you somewhere randomly. I'm sorry, I'll fix that. I just want to turn the music back on, okay? Yeah, Swadloon, go back there to the bottom of the barrel. Leavanny is definitely not F tier, so I'm gonna adjust. Give me a second. I don't think it's F tier. Maybe like the bottom of E. I think I could see myself using it before I would use a Luxray personally. Maybe around like here. Better or worse than Probopass? I think probably better. Probably about the highest I can go for it though. Might be worse. It doesn't really matter. Better than Leafeon though, more than likely. Who the heck are you? Oh my god. Venipede, Whirlipede, and Scolipede. Oh my god. I feel like such a Gen 5 LARPer. This is the names of Pokemon I'm forgetting the most, but Gen 5 is my favorite generation of games. It's just they have so many forgettable Pokemon. They're just chopped and ugly. Now the thing is, I actually don't think Venipede is, bad. So it's interesting. I'm like clowning on it, but I don't think it's that bad. It's gonna go in F tier with the rest of the Little Cup guys. Probably just on the lower end, like around Magnemite range. Probably like lower than Anorith, maybe higher than Anorith, but it's good. It's fine. It works. I feel like I'm putting Gible too high, by the way. I'm gonna put Gible below you. Love Gible, my favorite Pokemon ever. But yeah. When it comes to Whirlipede next, Whirlipede is a Sonic Spin Dash guy. Or just a wheel to a normal human being that doesn't like Sonic. The thing is with it is that it just isn't as good as Scolipede is in other tiers. Like when it comes to this thing, it's not really a low tier demon as you would think it would for something that has spikes, T-Spikes, Endeavor, and stuff like that. It's not like unviable. I'd probably use it before I would use a lot of these guys. Like right here. Maybe even lower. Maybe a little lower. He's like Golem area. They're both like little like lead Pokemon. They get their hazards up, they die. It is what it is. Scolipede's broken that mold. Scolipede does do the instant lead Pokemon thing, but it also does have access to, Swords Dance and stuff like that. I think the Swords Dance sets aren't scariest. The scariest this Pokemon has ever been in its entire life was Generation 7. And that's just a fact. Because it could use Rotarium Z with Aqua Tail, and it could absolutely blitz Lando T. You could just nuke Lando T, Gliscor, stuff like that with Z Aqua Tail. That's the only thing. And then Baton Pass, but I already made up my rule earlier that even though I considered Arena Trap and stuff and Shadow Tag hypothetically for Diglett, Dugtrio, and Wobbuffet, Baton Pass, I'm just gonna make an exception. I don't know. I feel like it's just too not Smogon. There's really no Smogon era where Baton Pass is just chilling. Besides maybe like Gen 2, I guess, and then Gen 3-ish, but they have a bunch of clauses around it. Scolipede's best contribution to anything was Full Pass. I think overall it's a B- Pokemon. Would I put it above Cloyster? Maybe. I think I'd put it above. You can use it in like Ubers and stuff like that as a hazard lead. You can use anything as a hazard lead in that generation. Would I put it below Shuckle? I think Shuckle needs to drop a few spots, by the way. I just looked at it and hated on it. I just felt like hating on it. This is fine for Scolipede. When it comes to Mega Scolipede, I think Mega Scolipede is just actually worse than base. I know some people tried to cope and be like, no, bro, you use the speed boost, you get your stacks, and then you Mega Evolve. Well, yeah, it's gonna die by that point, so it's just not good. I think it's probably around Mega Chimecho level. Like, legitimately worse than Mega Steelix, or well, less than base Steelix, probably. I would use Mega Chimecho before I would ever use Mega Scolipede, I'm sorry. I don't even think it's better than base Gallade. Maybe it's better than Jump Bluff. Just on the basis of having a high base stat total. But this thing is garbage, okay? It's not good. Cottonee. Cottonee is a very, very annoying... Cottonee is a very annoying Pokemon. I think that its evolution is even more demonic. But I would probably put... The thing with Cottonee is that it's, when it comes to like Little Cup performance, it's actually more honest than you'd think. It's more honest than you'd think. I would put it in the higher area of Little Cup Pokemon, like maybe better than Croagunk, better than Doduo and Chinchou. Like, it's right here. It's consistent. It's more honest, for sure. It just happens to have Prankster, so it has more utility stuff going for it, but Whimsicott is evil, demon species Pokemon, and we're gonna go ahead and raise this thing all the way up here where it should be. Probably like A tier, huh? This thing is probably like A tier. Not off singles at all, by the way. This is not off singles at all. This is like purely doubles. When it comes to singles, this thing hardly even exists. But its doubles impact is just so considerable. I might legitimately send it to A+. What's going on, Dollar? Yeah, I would probably... I'd put it like below Cresselia, above Skarmory. This is probably where I'd stop. Whimsicott, in terms of VGC presence, is a demon beast. It's done the same thing for countless generations. It exists Gen 5 VGC. It exists Gen 6 doubles. It has Gen 7 doubles, Gen 8 doubles. Gen 9, it does the same thing every single time. It's good in champions. Its biggest problem is just that it doesn't have singles, but then I have a Pokemon like Skarmory up here. And all Skarmory really has going for it is singles, you know? And Battle Spot. But I think Whimsicott is completely valid, chilling up here. Maybe like a separator between it and Cresselia, because at least Cresselia has more singles viability than Whimsicott has. But I think Whimsicott's more of a staple name. I'm going to keep it right there. But you think doubles, that's 100% one of the Pokemon you think of. Even though it's not like top 5 in all of those generations, it's something that exists all the time. I think the problem with Petalil is that it doesn't have too much going for it. It's just another one of those, just another grass type. It's probably better than Shinx, but I don't care about it. Lilligant is good. Lilligant, you know, clicks Quiver Dance. That's pretty much it. It really doesn't have much other nuance to its moveset. I would probably put it around where all the other ZU guys are. But I say it's better than Simisage all time. That's a hard one. Is it really? I think so. Maybe like below Absol, like right here. One of these two. Lilligant's chill. Lilligant gets Quiver Dances up. It can get the job done. Not much else to say about it. Hisuian Lilligant is an interesting one. I would say that Hisuian Lilligant is not bad at all. I'm not going to put it too crazy high, but it's a lot better than base Lilligant, 100%. I think Hisuian Lilligant can probably go... from B tier. It feels like a very B tier Pokemon. Maybe not better than all these guys. Like right here. Right there. It's good. Maybe worse than Conkeldurr and Togekiss. But better than Milo. This is Basculin, right? Why are there there's 3 of them. Okay, I know it has the blue stripe form. I forgot that white striped Basculin even existed, I'm not gonna lie. White stripe Basculin only exists so that it could evolve into the Basculegion forms, right? When it comes to base Basculegion, it's always it's potential, man, to me. It has 3 really, really good abilities. It's just one is better than the rest of them. So you're not really going to use the rest of its abilities. You're just going to use adaptability. It's a weird, really, really weird case in that sense. This thing is one of the most demonic wall breakers in like those lower tiers. I'm probably going to put it around semi-poor range, like right there. I'll just use the blue Basculin instead of the red one. Or is red more recognizable? I guess red is probably more recognizable. There's no difference as far as I'm aware, but maybe there is. White striped, I don't care about that thing. Sandile, ground dark type. Has Intimidate. You know, it does decent at its job. I can't hate on it. Truly, I can't hate on it. It's Dark Ghost, not Dark Ghost, Dark Ground. Stealth Rock knockoff, Resist knockoff, all sorts of stuff like that. Probably just gonna put it with the rest of the LC goons. Just on the lower end, like worse than Wingull, worse than Natu probably, but worse than Magnemite. But like right here? I'd probably say better than Gible. I could raise it like a little higher. Right there. Sandile is cool. Krokorok is really good as well. Krokorok, this whole line is overall just like solid. Krokorok is nice for its decent speed tier when it comes to NFE Pokemon. Again, Ground Dark is a good typing. Knockoff is good. I think it's probably going to go around the higher end wherever the NFE guys are. Right there. Right next to its buddy. Gabite. It makes me want to put this one next to Gible. Yeah, I'm going to put it next to Gible, and its other form's going to be next to Gabite for theming purposes. Crocodile. Crocodile is not going to be like super, super high up. I don't think it sucks. But this guy is definitely one of the most UU Pokemon ever. Like 100%. So wherever all the UU Pokemon are, that's basically where it's going to be at. And they're all here in B-, just congregated here. I'd probably put it above Porygon Z, maybe lower, like right there. It is one of the most UU Pokemon just in existence. It does have, you know, Intimidate. It's automatically going to make it moderately useful. You know, I don't hate putting it like right here. I think B- is chill. I think B- is chill. Is this Darumaka? And its other form as well. I've never heard too much about Galarian Darumaka. But we're on base Darumaka for now. The thing is, it's one of those Pokemon that can hit super hard. You have Hustle off of 90 attack. That does, of course, mean that 80% of the time you have to hit those moves. Otherwise, 20% you just lose for no reason. I would say that Darumaka is just going to join the rest of the Little Cup guys. I would put it maybe below Onyx. He's chill. They're like above Houndour, but below Snover. This form of Darumaka, I just don't think is anything real, unfortunately. Galarian Darumaka it only had one, you know, generation ever to be able to try and prove itself. But unfortunately, I don't think it was able to succeed. It is what it is. I legitimately think that the big problem with it is that it didn't really have a good ice move, you know? I think the only ice move you could use with Galarian Darumaka, it was like Ice Punch. But this thing had like Icicle Spear. I legitimately think that was probably the difference maker. Icicle Spear off of 90 attack with Hustle. There's no way that's a joke, you know? Darmanitan and Galarian Darmanitan. Gonna be two different Pokemon for sure. Darmanitan is, again, in that area of being one of the most UU Pokemon ever. It's gonna be lower than Crocodile. I also think it's overrated. I'd probably put it above Mega Excadrill and call it a day. I've never been the biggest fan of Darm. I think it's one of those noob bait Pokemon, but it is what it is. But I put it above, okay, maybe above these guys a little crazy. Right here. He's very Mega Beedrill-esque, in my personal opinion. Also, I'm going to drop Crocodile to go, like, here. They'll be right next to each other. I just think Crocodile's the better one between the two. Now, Galarian Darm is... Do I even count Zen? Is Zen a separate thing that should be ranked? Because if it is, sure, I guess go to bottom of the barrel. I don't think it should be separately ranked, but whatever. It exists. Galar Darm. Galar Darm is definitely high up. Might be an A-pluser. It might be an A-pluser, I'm not gonna lie. Galar Darm, it really goes between this one. Either this tier right here, A+, or even like a touch higher. But I think I want to just say A+. You know what? If you were in Ubers, maybe you just go up, you know? Above Chomp. Galar Darm is nuts. Galar Darm is absolutely nuts. You don't know what it does. It has Gorilla Tactics, which is basically Choice Band. Which means you can run Choice Scarf, Choice Band, or Choice Band, Choice Band. It's just crazy. Definitely just slap it in S tier. If not, A+, I don't really care. Zen mode, Galar Darmanitan, is kind of why I don't want to rate the Zen modes at all. I'm just going to ignore the Zen modes. I don't think they're separate species, honestly. They're separate. Okay, that's not too true. They're separate Pokemon. Zen mode, Galar Darmanitan is the Belly Drum variant, basically. This is the only time that you're going to use it. It's very fun. Do not get me wrong. It's very fun. I just don't think... I don't know. I just don't think it's the most viable. Now, of course, we're still talking a broken Pokemon. It's still going to be up here. It's just not S tier, you know? Like, I'd put it here. I'd put it right here. It's been banned before. It's definitely broken. You know, as more time goes on, I want to drop Zapdos more and more. Right there. Also, Cat wants to leave. Yeah, Galar Darm, it's the Belly Drum variant. I mean, it doesn't always have to run Belly Drum, but yeah, that's what it really does. Some Salad. Turns itself into an Ice Fire type and nukes. I think A+ is fine. It's noticeably worse than just regular Galarian Darmanitan. It is what it is. At least it's not the big difference that is this form. That thing is in the abyss. Dwebble! I love Dwebble. I'm a big Dwebble fan. I really like Dwebble. It sets up its rocks, it sets up the spikes, it hits hard with Rock Blast, it has knockoff. It's just one of the better Pokemon out there. I think wherever I have Anorith, I'm just gonna make it Mog it by a good bit. Like right up, right around Ammonite, Carvana. Granbull, or that's Snubbull, sorry. Yeah, I'd probably go like here. Around Krogunk. One of the more consistent Pokemon out there, 100%. Very good in Little Cup. Sets up all the hazards that it ever needs to. You can run Sturdy Juice. You can run Violite with weak armor. And sometimes you could just lose the game by making it too fast. And it just starts nuking your stuff. Crustle. I kind of forget this guy exists. I'm not going to lie. You know, as a Pokemon with Shell Smash, you would 100% think that it would have more relevance. But it has 45 speed. It really is doing the best that it can. It really is doing the best it can. Oh, I skipped over a Pokemon, by the way. I'm sorry, Maractus. Wow, I just skipped over your entire existence. I feel so bad. I'm going to just put you in G tier right off the bat instead of bottom of the barrel. I feel bad. I feel really, really bad, okay? Go ahead. Enjoy it. You're the new gatekeeper for a reward. Crustle, though, I mean, it has access to... I would use it above... probably Rampardos and Leafeon. I would use Rampardos before Leafeon, and probably Manectric before Leafeon as well. Crustle could go here. It has Shell Smash at the end of the day. It's something that is going to hit hard. One of my favorite sets to run with it ever in Generation 7 was Shell Smash with Z Rock Wrecker. Rock Wrecker is I'm pretty sure it's a signature move, and Z Rock Wrecker makes that into like a 200 power move. Now, it's not the most viable thing you can do with a Z move on it at all. It definitely has better options, like just using Z Stone Edge. But Z Rock Wrecker was funny because you just get one nuke and you still have another nuke waiting. Not the best thing ever, but you know, something you can do. I don't hate it. It's not only got Shell Smash stuff, but of course, like Dwebble, it's going to get up all its hazards. It's got Stealth Rot, it's got Spikes. You can still punish things with Knockoff. If you hit it, it has weak armor. If you want to one-shot it, it could have Sturdy. You know, like the more I talk about it, the more I want to raise it just a tad. Like just a touch, just a touch. Scraggy. I was about to say Scrafty, but not yet. Scraggy. Scraggy is really, really good. This thing is a beast. I think it's going to just have to join, you know, the non-F tier Little Cup Pokemon. It's going to have to join the E tier guys. I'll probably put it, maybe not above Staryu. Maybe above Staryu, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it above Staryu. I might even go further. I think it'll go up here, above Zigzagoon. This thing, if you don't know what it does, it just wins the game a lot of the times in Little Cup. It clicks Dragon Dance, and it's just an unkillable demon beast and destroys everything in existence. It's one of the best Pokemon in Little Cup of all time. I might move it even higher. It might be better than Yanma, too. I don't know about Yanma. I think Yanma can stay there, but it's one of the best Little Cup Pokemon ever created, 100%. Currently, looks like it's in top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's in the top 5. I think that is accurate. I think Scraggy is the top 5 Little Cup Pokemon ever. Where is Scrafty? Right here. Scrafty is fine. I don't hate Scrafty. I think Scrafty should be around this area. I would definitely put him worse than Base Gallade. I would probably say better than Mischievous, better than Tauros, and maybe that's a comfortable spot. Scrafty is just unfortunately a Pokemon that got 10 speed from its evolution, so it's kind of doomed to always be that NU, RU, PU type of area. Actually, I don't think it's ever been PU. I think it's only been NU and like RU and stuff. Maybe UU in Gen 5 when it first came out, because it's like power creep time. I would say around here, lower end is fine. Would I say it's worse than Jumpluff? Maybe I just have Jumpluff too high. I'm not going to lie. I could have just Jumpluff too high. There we go. I would say you have two options with Scrafty, right? You have bulk up sets, and you also have Dragonette sets. The thing is, I'm also not even considering doubles, which is stupid of me. I do have to consider doubles. Okay, yeah, when I consider doubles, let me raise them up some. He jumps up a few spots just for considering doubles' existence. I was too locked in on singles. Explanation. Let me just raise him up. I'd probably go maybe like here, like above Quagsire. Above Slowbro. I forgot about doubles completely. It completely passed my mind. Now, in terms of modern day, you don't see them in doubles anymore, but you still have to think about back then and stuff. And I mean, it's not even, I'm thinking more like Gen 9 and Champions. Just don't see them. Mega Scrafty. I don't think Mega Scrafty. Where did I put Scrafty exactly? B tier, right? I don't think Mega Scrafty touches that. Mega Scrafty's like several tiers below. It's just a matter of determining which tier it should be in. I would use Mega Scrafty before all these guys. Besides Mega Abomasnow, maybe. Maybe like C tier. But the problem with Mega Scrafty is that it just doesn't bring much to the table. It got a lot stronger. Like, it got, way more physical attack. But ultimately, it's just Scrafty again. It really struggles because of its typing to feel anything more than just Scrafty 2 instead of something unique. Double Intimidate is not enough of a gimmick in order to make it really cool. It is what it is. Sigilyph. The three-eyed guy. I used to really, really hate this thing as a little kid because that one set. What is it? What is it? Wonder has Magic Guard and what's that move? What's that move that switches the status over to you? I forget the name of that one move. Psycho Shift, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. I used to hate this. The 10-year-old me, Sigilyph was my biggest op. This thing used to destroy you on the 1000s part of the ladder. Cosmic Power and shifting the burn to everything. Now, of course, it's not really anything special. It's not bad at all. So I'm not going to rank it like it's bad. It's just more of one of those NU-RU merchants. So it's just going to join the rest of them. Right around this range. When I say it's better than Galarian Articuno all time, I don't think that's a crazy take. Maybe like right above Jumpluff. He's cool. I love its Life Orb Magic Art sets more than anything. I think it's a really neat Pokemon in that aspect. Yamask and the other form of Yamask. I think when it comes to Yamask, it's just one of those. It's one of those Pokemon where it's gonna click Trick Room, it's gonna do the thing. It might have access to Toxic Spikes on some sort of defensive stuff. Has Mummy, it's useful. You can use a Trick Room offensive set back in the day. It's funny. You don't have to use that. You could just use it for its Mummy ability. It's fine. It's more usable than a lot of the stuff below it. I'm not gonna put it too crazy high. I'll put it above like Swinub probably. Maybe like up below Apom. Like right there. He's chill. You could have offensive Trick Room. You could have status. So it is what it is. It's just the problem with it. The problem with it is that you're going to be weak to knockoff, which is always just going to be a bad trait. There's not much that you can do. So it's not really going to leave the G tier. This is a Galarian Yamask. It has Wandering Spirit, which should be, really, really cool. In theory, you'd imagine this would be useful because you could take, useful abilities away from other Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's just not the case. It's going to go in bottom of the barrel. It's not really good at all. It's never really been used. Runerigus is good. And so is Cofagrigus. Now, Cofagrigus is probably better than Runerigus overall. Like, I would say Cofagrigus has way more arguments for usefulness. You can set up Trick Room in doubles environments. You can set up Trick Room in singles environments. You were pretty fat, pretty bulky. I think it's going to be around this range. Maybe like better than like this area 100%, but right here. I wouldn't be mad at this. Better than Fernape. Maybe better than Hisuian Arcanine. And I think maybe Shuckle can, like, gatekeep it. It's good. It's good. It's not like the most... It's not something you're really going to see in doubles nowadays, but, you know, it had a time and a place. Runerigus. Does this Pokemon have a time or a place? That much... I mean, sure, in the very, like, low tiers, unfortunately, it got, like, one game. It is Champions too, but I don't believe it returned for Scarlet and Violet, which is interesting. I think it had a very cool design around it. Overall, though, it's nothing, like, too special. I don't even see it. Where did I put it? Oh my god, did I already move Runerigus, or is it all the way down at the bottom? I was already talking about it, but I just, like, physically could not see it. It must just be down below. Oh my god, am I blind? Oh no, it's just down here. Okay, well, I'll get to it. It's a Gen 8 Pokemon, but they had Galarian. Okay, whatever. Tortuga. Tortuga is good. I like Tortuga. Tortuga's another pretty, like, versatile Pokemon in terms of it's not just limited to one thing. It will just do the same couple things that it does. You know, sometimes you can just set up Stealth Rock and be like a fat Pokemon, and then other times it can go for Shell Smash and just win the game. I like it. I think it's up here with the consistent Pokemon for sure. I put it maybe around Timber range. Caracosta. Maybe around here. Like right here. Caracosta's cool. Shell Smash, stuff like that. Unfortunately, I just don't know. I don't know if defensive sets really like super fly when it comes to it because of its typing compared to Tortuga. Tortuga can get away with it a little more because at least little cup Pokemon don't hit quite as hard, but the, you know, stronger Pokemon are going to be way more punishing. So, I mean, and also knockoff is so significant in Little Cup, so not being weak to knockoff is pretty cool. Of course, it has Solid Rock to try and help with the resistances. But yeah, I feel like it's always just going to be around this range. I'd say it's maybe better like Absol. Like around this area. Arcan, whatever you want to call it. This thing's good. It's going to be up there again with the consistent LC Pokemon. I mean, Berry Juice is really, really strong on it. Of course, as a Pokemon with acrobatics, you have Choice Scarf options as well. I'd put it, it might go like up here, above Ponyta. I don't think I can quite put it E tier, but it's really, really strong. One of the best LC Pokemon ever for sure. My little goat. Now, unfortunately, I can't say positive things about Archeops. This thing sucks. It's not good. I'll put it maybe the leader of E tier. It's hating. I'll put it above Metang. Below Metang. I'll put it right here. D-. He exists in the realm of, you know, PU. NU, he's a demon over there, and he does his stuff. Yeah, I might raise him just a little more. Maybe I made it too hard. You're right there. I think this is valid. Maybe Golem goes above. We have Trubbish. Trubbish is a Pokemon that has, Sticky Hold, right? And you'd already know, if you've heard before, the strength of Sticky Hold in Little Cup. The strength of Sticky Hold in Little Cup is that it's an item that you can't get knocked off, you know? So, I think that Trubbish should just join the rest of these guys. I'd say better than Doduo, maybe. Lower than Chinchou, just in this range. It's a good Pokemon in Little Cup, for sure. Garbodor is garbage. Yeah, I mean, very creative pun, I know. Yeah, it's not great. I'd put it above Archeops personally. Like probably around. It might lead D+. I think I can make it lead D+. It's It's better than people think, I would say. And that's because of its moveset. I mean, having access to spikes is just major. Having access to T-spikes is a cherry on top, but it's a freaking poison type, so it should. I could see myself putting it in, like, the bottom of C-. Yeah, let's do this. Better or worse than Weezing? That might be a stretch, but I'll put it here. Zora, oh wow, the first Gigantamax Pokemon in forever, by the way. The last time there was a Gigantamax Pokemon was Generation 1 with Snorlax. That's crazy. Zora is good. Ooh, and Hisui and Zora both. Okay. I think that I like its not its speed tier really, but the ability to hit hard with either mix sets or just straight up nasty plot sets. Mixed sets meaning it has knockoff and U-turn. It's hardly something you can consider mixed, but I am not a hater of this thing at all. I would say that Zora is gonna be on that area where all the other guys are. I'd say around like Wingull level, maybe lower. I think this guy should also go up a little bit, by the way. Yeah, I think this area is cool. Zoroark? Oh wait, we still have Hisuian. Hisuian Zora has only had one tier to prove itself, but I think it did, you know, a good job at it. Would I say that it's better all time than base Zora? I'm gonna have to put it lower just because I think base Zora has had more time to exist. So there'll be like a small gap. Okay, this is a bigger gap than small, but I'd go like here. Good Pokemon. Just hasn't had enough time to fully prove itself, but it's done a good job. F tier with it's right in the middle of all sorts of really good LC Pokemon. Like, I have it above Alola and Sandshrew and stuff like that. It's still really good. Zoroark, on the other hand, this is where it's gonna be a little like some people might hate me. I don't think it's super crazy. I don't think it's ever been super crazy. I'm gonna put it around like this area. I feel like better than Rhydon, better than Gligar, and maybe better than Swellow. Overall, I think it's never been like the craziest guy. Also, I want to raise Magneton, by the way. I feel like I have Magneton a little too low. Yeah, I have Magneton way too low, I'm not gonna lie. I raise Magneton a lot. Zoroark is whatever. It's a very whatever Pokemon. It got worse and worse as time goes on. It started out a lot better than it ended up. I will say that. I will give it its flowers. It started off a lot better as not really being a PU Pokemon, but now it's all it's known for. Hisuian Zoroark is relatively similar, not in its current state. Current Hisuian Zoro versus current Zoro, they're like very similar to each other. Or not very similar. Hisuian is way better. But in terms of Zoroark's lifespan, this thing's been around that range as well. I'd probably say it's just better currently. So maybe just one little Pokemon gap in between the two of them. It's another case where it doesn't have enough time to prove itself, but I can probably say it's just a better Pokemon outright. Like being able to be used in UU in this gen is kind of absurd with how much power creep there is. And this is the gen that really made base Zoroark just kind of, not even this gen, it was really Gen 8, but Gen 8, Gen 9 are brutal gens, bro. It is what it is. Minccino. I've always liked Minccino. I think Minccino is a super cute Pokemon. It's not cute in the way that it fights stuff. Skill Link, you already know at this point how powerful multi-hit moves are. So now imagine if you don't even have any RNG with your multi-hit moves. This thing can do Life Orb. It can do, you know, Choice Scarf as well. I think I'm just going to put it a good gap between whoever the next normal type is. Who was the other normal type? Munchlax? Okay, that doesn't count. That's not what I was thinking about. I was thinking about like the Meowths and stuff. Where's Meowth? Meowth's down here. So we'll take them like, we'll take Minccino. Go around here. Oh, what? Like there. Maybe that's crazy. Yeah, I like that. I'll go like here. Minccino's very strong. It's very hard. This ranker competitive. This is competitive. It's Smogon singles, Battle Stadium, Battle Spot, BGC, all-time rankings. So impacting Gen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you didn't exist in that gen, then womp womp. But hey, so this is obviously Gen 5 to Gen 9. Now, Minccino's cool. Cinccino. I think that Cinccino really got its life saved by Tidy Up. Because I'm pretty sure this thing was going to go on a trajectory to end up being like a ZU Pokemon. And then it just got Tidy Up. And now it's not going to go to ZU. I think it instead pathed up. I think it instead went up to NU. I'd probably put it around this like Gigalith range. Maybe like less than Hariyama, less than Amistar, more than Jinx. Cinccino's chill. Gothita. Gothita is good. I'm gonna have to put it. I'm gonna have to put it pretty high. I'm definitely gonna put it pretty high. Like, you're gonna have to join. Maybe like here. Really high in E tier. Would I say at the top 5 of all time? I don't know if I would say at the top 5 of all time. But I think top 6 is fine. Shadow Tag, absolutely demonic ability. It just gets the job done. It can just end your game immediately, especially if it's a Scarf Trick set or if it's a Calm Mind set. It could just cripple anything. You could catch something lacking and it's just going to win. Gothorita. I mean, Gothorita, I'm going to have to do the Diglett thing. So wherever Diglett is, I'll probably just put Gothorita near it. I don't think that Gothorita is as good. Okay, like in the hypothetical, right? In the hypothetical where you could use Arena Trap still in Smogon formats, I think Diglett would do the job better than Gothorita. But I think they're both enough like broken. I'll just put them right next to each other. I don't care. If you could use Shadow Tag Gothorita, it would still be really, really annoying because the whole point is that you catch one Pokemon lacking and the game just ends. Gothitelle should go around Dugtrio level, probably. Of course, in Smogon, it's always low tier, but you have to remember this is literally because its ability is banned. And this thing is an absolute freak of nature. It's viable in Ubers and stuff like that. I might put it... It's got to be S tier, I think. I'm just placing it as a placeholder. I'd probably put it around here. This thing is broken, obviously. I don't know if it needs much of an introduction at all. I might put it even above some of these guys, like above Skyman. It's better than Wobbuffet. I mean, wherever Wobbuffet is, it just has to be better. I'm going to put Wobbuffet where Goth was, I think, and just swap their spots. And not only that, but Gothitelle has doubles presence, which is just another factor. Gothitelle might lead S tier, I'm not going to lie. It could even be double S. Yeah. Is the best Pokemon Arceus? I think so. Because this list doesn't have them all separate. So since it's all Arceus forms put together, I think if you're doing all Arceus forms put together, which isn't what you should be doing, genuinely, but I'm too lazy to add all of the different images of the various Arceus forms. Maybe when I eventually finish the list, I can make a distinction between all of them at the very end or something. Like when I'm done with everything, maybe I'll go back and take the Arceus forms. if it pisses too many people off that Arceus is up here, because in reality, Arceus is it's probably like double S, like normal Arceus specifically. But this is considering Arceus normal, Arceus water, Arceus ground, Arceus dark, Arceus fairy, Arceus steel, or like all these different Arceus forms, and they were even better back in like Gen 5. Arceus ghost, stuff like that. It's considering every single one. It's just gotta be. It's the most versatile Pokemon you could ever think of, like when it comes to that. And unfortunately for the other guys, they have a lot of aura. But if I go back, then maybe not. Anyways, Solosis. So Solosis has 105 special attack, which is absolutely bonkers. It's really, really cool for that. And you could technically try and use it as some sort of Trick Room Pokemon. And I'm not going to put it too high. I think it probably has more use than... Like, it's probably around this range of, like, something that has a niche. You could use it, and it could do its job decently well. Maybe above Meganium. You could set Trick Room with it and use it as an offensive Trick Room Pokemon. The only problem is that, well, there's also just Abra, and you could just use it. It's way faster. And you don't have to rely on Trick Room to do stuff. I like Duosion a lot. I'm a big Duosion fan. I think when it comes to where all the NFE guys are, I think Duosion's going to be pretty high up there. I'm a big fan of Duosion. I'm a bit of a Duosion glazer, just because Future Sight is so broken. I'll put it, like, above Machoke, below that broken demonic thing that's above it. Reuniclus. Reuniclus is an interesting one. Reuniclus is very interesting. Other thing with Reuni is that it's another one of those Pokemon that it has, like, 3 good abilities. But one is just so much better than the rest, with one exception. Regenerator. Assault Vest is really strong, but generally most people are using Reuniclus for its Magic Guard, especially as hazards just become more and more and more broken. But Assault Vest regen was a thing, Regen Vest. I think Reuniclus is probably going to be like here, maybe lower. Reuni is just never really bad. It's more of an RU guy. I could probably put it below, like right here. I want to put it like one spot above. It's a little sneaky spot. Below Mega Heracross, but I mean, it's always been viable. It's always been usable. It's fat. It does a lot of damage. It has good variety. You can use Magic or Life Orb. You can use Bulky Calm Mindsets. You can use Offensive Trick Room. You can use Regenerator Assault Vest. I think B- is fine. Ducklet. Alright, so the silly duck guy, I feel like the problem with it is that even though it could do something, Wingull exists, and it actively prevents it from ever, really doing anything. So I'm just gonna put it bottom of the barrel. There's virtually no reason. Now, do I think it's Caterpie level? No. I just don't think you'd ever use it. I'm sorry. Anyways, Swanna. It's like a lot of these might make a tier below bottom of the barrel for the ones that are just straight up abysmal. Is that a bad idea? A lot of these just don't have competitive viability, but a lot of these are genuinely useless. Maybe this is F tier, or not F tier, maybe this is H tier and I make bottom of the barrel. You know what? I don't hate that idea at all. I don't hate that idea at all. H tier and then bottom of the barrel. Because some of these are not that useless. So we're going to take like the cat. This is going to be for the Caterpies, the Metapods, the Magikarps and stuff. Like things that just straight up do not. Even if you tried to force a use for them, it does not exist. That's basically what it's going to be. Because you could technically find a use for a lot of things. I don't think Ladybug goes down here. Maybe Igglybuff does. I feel like the thing with Igglybuff is just... that thing is beyond saving. but it's not useless. Like, this is gonna be for legitimately just useless Pokemon. I don't even think Sunkern goes all the way down here. Unknown does. Wurmple. A lot of these bugs do go down here. Slackoth? Slackoth might. Slackoth might have to just go all the way down here, I'm not gonna lie. It's just... This is... It's gotta be. There is no justifiable use I can say for it. Everything else... Everything else I could at least see... Maybe not Beldum. Beldum might be pretty hard to justify being up here. I mean... It only has so many moves that it can use. Its moves that those that it has are technically not bad. They're all just stab moves, but it has no coverage. And it struggles to really hit a lot of common defensive typings. So I think I'll keep it down there. I'll drop you. I think the only thing that I should actually take out of this tier is Slacking, by the way. I'll have him right next to Regigigas. Right better than Regigigas. The Tot, I don't think Kricketot has any useful moves. Might spare Bidoof from bottom of the barrel, I'm not gonna lie. I might just do it. All the Burmy forms should go down here. These are pointless. Wormadam can stay. Combee should drop. Happiny could drop, but I think it's okay to stay there. Yeah, I think this is what I should do. I think there should be a distinction made between the Pokemon that are just literally, effectively just dead useless. Okay, it's not literally. Okay, it's still saying literally as a hyperbole there, but you know. So now there's another tier added to the stupid list. Anyway, Swanna. Yeah, I think Luvdisc should stay in the H tier. Like, the only one here that could maybe even be debatable to get out of this tier is, I guess, Slackoth if you really, really wanted to argue that. But everything else, at least, they could click a button, you know? The rest of these guys, they click String Shot and Bug Bite and stuff and Tackle. So I guess Slackoth is technically the only one here that doesn't do that. But no. Anyways, Swanna. I like Swanna. Swanna's a bit of a PU demon. That PU-ZU area. Good speed tier. Good moves. I just really, really wish that it didn't randomly have the freaking Sinnoh Hoenn moment where they just had to give it a mixed attacking spread for literally no reason. I think I'm just going to put it around where all the other PU guys are. I'd put it above, maybe not above Caracosta. Maybe not even above Lilligant. Like here. You know? I just really, 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 really wish that it wasn't 87 attack. I'm sorry. Like, imagine you just took away 20 of that attack and put that 20 into special attack, or maybe like 10 into special attack and 10 into speed. It would probably be an entire tier up. But it is what it is. Vanillish? Vanillite? Whichever one. This thing could technically win you a game. I just don't think that it will. The way I'd say it could technically win you a game is because it does have a Totemize. You know, it does have weak armor. There are ways that it could technically win you the game, so I don't think it's going to be H tier. I'll put it above Ralts. Vanillish? I've always... You know, a lot of people hate the design of this thing. I've never been too much of a hater of its design. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have any competitive usefulness. So I'm just going to plop it into the H tier. I'm pretty sure this H tier is like entirely unranked, by the way, so I don't care about any ranking. I've just put them there. Vanillux is better, 100%. Vanillux is 100% better than these goobers. I'm gonna put Vanillux nowhere near Vanillish. Vanillux should be like a C+. I think this is a fair enough ranking. You still do have, you know, the option to set hail, the problem, or snow, whatever. The problem is that Alola-Tails is just better, but this thing is it's a sneaky one. It's a sneaky one. Like, it's always, it's never been something that's beyond PU as far as I'm aware. Like that PU-ZU Inu range. But it can always be usable in those higher tiers. I used to really like it in Generation 8 UU. It used to be a sneaky little breaker because it just hits so hard. And my favorite moveset of it was the fact that you just only run 2 moves and Sleep Talk. You literally just run Blizzard, you run Freeze Dry, and you run Sleep Talk. You don't run a 4th move so that you can, you know, minimize the odds of you not pulling one of those moves for no reason. There's no reason to run any other coverage on it. It's not like it had coverage to begin with in Generation 8. Like, you're not going to have hidden power. But that set was so funny, and I used to love it. I used to really like it. So I'll put it up here in C-, or C+. You could technically use it in doubles if, for some reason, your Ninetales was sick, I guess. Deerling. I mean, it has Serene Grace. You know? You could cheese something with Serene Grace Headbutt. But you also have Sap Sipper, which means that in a time where whenever something like Snivy were allowed, or if you wanted to absorb a spore from something, bad idea probably because Fungus exists. We're getting to that little demon. I think overall, Deerling should probably be not H tier, 100% not H tier. I think I would use Deerling not before I would use that guy, but like right around here. Join its grass type brother and Sawsbuckingtons. Sawsbuck is chill. People still run Vanillux with the 3 moves. See, it's funny. It's such a silly thing. Sawsbuck is bad. Sawsbuck is bad. Which form of Sawsbuck do I want to pick? Maybe just stay consistent with spring forms. I would probably put Sawsbuck around. I'd probably use it above Lumineon. You're like right there. It's bad. There's nothing like much else to say about it. I could raise it just a slight bit higher. Where did I put you? I don't even remember where I put you, so you're gonna be stuck. Oh, there you go, E tier. I could raise you above, not above U2, above Palpitoad. Next up is Emolga. Emolga is cool for its electric flying type. I used to really like it as a kid. I feel like I feel like it had no real chance to do much of anything once they nerfed, you know, the flying gym acrobatic stuff. That was its best time. Well, not only did they nerf it, but then like gyms just don't exist anymore. I would say overall, it's around. Would I use it more than Sawsbuck? Probably not. Maybe above Butterfree. Maybe above Butterfree. Maybe below. Like, actually, legitimately, just one spot below. Gen 5 Emolga was pretty cool. That's all I'll say. Terra Blast. That's your name, right? I don't think you're real. I'm gonna be honest. You have Swords Dance, which is really, really silly. And you have No Guard, which means, I mean, your Mega Horns are just always gonna hit. You're definitely not bottom of the barrel. That much is obvious. I think you might not even be H tier. I think you might be better than base Grimer. Because, you know, Swords Dance Mega Horn, Choice Scarf Mega Horn, like stuff like that is always going to be something that you can at least say you can do. I don't know. That's about all the positive stuff I can say about it. Escavalier is interesting. This thing had its one time in Gen 5, and that's it. It was actually pretty cool in Gen 5. I think it's enough to raise it around where some of these like one-hit wonder Pokemon are. I'd probably put it like C-. Maybe we can lead it. Gen 5, wasn't this guy like pretty good as a Trick Room teammate? And then after that, nothing was the same. The cool thing about it really is just that it hits so hard and having access to Swarm. Bug Gym. You could have Akaberry too. You have access to different guard moves. And you target a lot of some of the crazier Pokemon like Cresselia and stuff like that were really good back then. Still, Cresselia is good now, but you know, back then for Escavalier, because Escavalier is irrelevant now. Still C- is okay. I mean, it's good in RU. It's more of a RU, UU, in-U existing Pokemon. It doesn't really change up in that aspect. Fungus. Fungus is definitely one of the goats of Little Cup. I would say it might not even be F tier. I think it's got to be at like the bottom end of E tier. Right here. I think it's so consistent that I gotta put it maybe very top. Very, very top of F tier. I think it leads F tier. This thing, obviously, it's Eviolite Regenerator. It's going to use Spore. It's going to annoy your entire team, and it's going to do a really good job at annoying your entire team. Among Us. Among Us is pretty cool. I think Among Us should probably go... If Whimsicott's A+, Among Us might just mog it. I like the spot. Among Us is definitely a very, very timeless Pokemon. I might even have it higher than Cress, like right here. Among Us is timeless, excellent in doubles. Maybe slightly weaker than it could have been in its absolute peak when it comes to doubles, but it's always been good in singles as well. Maybe not like Battle Spot singles, but even then, OU, Smogon stuff. Its weakest generation ever was this one, Gen 9, where somehow, some way, it fell all the way down. Oh, well, no. That means... Okay, it's not somehow, some way. They banned Sleep. You know, Sleep moves are banned in Gen 9. It's not somehow, some way it fell to PU. Yeah, it just kind of got forced to fall all the way to PU. And even then, you can still use it, which is the craziest part. You can still use it in OU, UU, RU, NU if you wanted to, and it won't be like the worst thing ever added to your team, even though Spore doesn't exist anymore in Smogon formats. Very, very good. What's wrong with Palkia and S+? Explain. This thing is a... Am I crazy, or is it not like a freak of nature in old gen Ubers? Maybe I'm tripping. Is it not really good in old gen Ubers? While still having, you know, no sort of fall off that the others that were also really good in old gen Ubers kind of had. Like we're talking DPP, black, white, Palkia, you know? Where it's probably just like an A tier Pokemon. I would say Dialga mogs it. You could maybe put Palkia here. You could maybe put Palkia there, because I think Dialga mogs it in both formats, but I don't personally think Double S is that bad. I would have had a lot of gap form between these two. I think I said that when I placed them here. If you want top of S, you can have top of S, if you'd like. if you want that. But just remember, it never had a Darkrai moment, where Darkrai currently is OU. But Darkrai was goated, you know, for a long time. But sure, Palkia, maybe top of S. I do think a gap exists between it and Dialga, but that's whatever. It's not a significant enough one to me to make like a super big gap for how much worse it is. Shellos. I feel like I was talking about Shellos before. Oh, no, I am blind. I looked down here because I was talking about Gen 4, and I looked at a Gen 4 Pokemon. We're on to Frillish. I looked at Shellos, I was like, yeah, I think I ranked you already. I did, I ranked its other form. Frillish is good. Frillish is definitely good. It's definitely versatile. We'll rank the separate forms. It doesn't matter which one you pick. We'll pick the male one for Little Cup. We'll pick the female one for the other tiers and stuff. Frillish should go probably around this range. Frillish has two things that it does. It can be Scarf with Water Spout, or it can be a tank with, you know, Scald, Shadow Ball stuff for cover. Being a tank is always going to be hard when you're weak to knockoff and stuff. But it is what it is. Now for Jellicent. I think Jellicent had, you know, better times, but I don't think it's like complete and utter garbage. It had a much better time for sure earlier on, but nowadays it's definitely more of a PU Pokemon, unfortunately. But I would probably say all time, I could put Jellicent around like Mega Manectric area, probably better than Dusclops all time. Because again, Jellicent could at least still be used in higher tiers. You're never going to see Dusclops used in higher tiers. It's just like you could use it as a Trick Room gimmick. I'd probably use it before I would use Mega Excadrill. I'm just going to be honest. Even in a higher tier. Even in a higher tier. Maybe that could be crazy. No, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. Alomomola. Okay. Now we get to Alomomola. This thing is a demonic tank. It's not even a tank, it's just a wall. This fat Tubbalard. It took a break in Generation 8, decided to leave, and then it came back. It became even better than before. Benefits from Terra really nicely. Doesn't even have Toxic, which is crazy, right? Isn't it crazy that this is the peak of Alomomola's existence? And it's not even the one where it has Toxic anymore. It's honestly because it benefits from things not being able to Toxic it. Overall, I'm not going to go too crazy. I think it's a comfortable like B pluser. I think it's a comfortable B pluser. Traditionally, it's always been that like UU-RU Pokemon, and then it just turned up this gen. It is what it is. Now it's usable in Ubers. Usable is questionable. I feel like it's way more usable in AG, but usable in Ubers is still like not the craziest take ever. I like Alomomola. I hate it actually, but I like its viability. Hate that it's viable, but I like its viability. The spiders. We have Joltik and we have Galvantula. I would say the thing with Joltik is that if it wasn't a bug type, you know, if it wasn't a bug type, I would like it. I would like it a lot more. It's not bottom of the barrel. I don't even think it's H tier. It's probably better than Electrike. Like right there. Galvantula. It's usable as a Sticky Webber in higher tiers. That's all the grace that I can give it. I don't want to give it B tier. I really don't want to give it B tier, man. But it might be able to have B tier. it might just be able to have it. I think it's one of. That's a weird one. It's such a weird Pokemon. It's like it's deceptively not overrated, you know? Okay, I think people overrate it in various formats, but I think people underrate it too because it's associated with being such a noob Pokemon. It's a weird case of 100% being a noob trap Pokemon. And I don't have it up here at B tier for its noob trap purposes. I'm not putting it here in B tier for it being a Sticky Web or an OU and stuff like that. I think that just all time, it does the same thing. It gets up Sticky Web, and you could use it in like Ubers. You could use it in Gen 8 Ubers, for example, because you can piss off so many Pokemon with Thunder Wave, with Toxic, Thunder's chance of paralyzing them. You also threaten a lot of the Defoggers, the Veltal Ho-Oh, and stuff like that. So you really have a decent shot of keeping your Sticky Web up. That's the only reason it's ever even this high. I mean, I might just put it top of B. I feel like it reflects my personal opinion on this Pokemon a little more than being in B tier. I'll put it right here, maybe like a below Kingdra. Ooh, Ferroseed. Ferroseed's another extremely, extremely consistent Little Cup Pokemon. I would, not put it obviously where I'm about to put it at the top of E. I was looking for Fungus. I think I would put it just a couple spots below Fungus. Like right here is fine. Very, 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 very consistent. I mean, having access to Iron Barbs is quite broken in Little Cup because it can punish some of the most commonly good moves in Little Cup are obviously going to be contact moves. Fake Out from Mienfoo. You could punish that. You catch them trying to predict a switch or something and they go for Fake Out, or they go for U-turn, you get hit with Iron Barbs. Things that are going for U-turn knockoff getting hit with Iron Barbs nonstop. Certain Pokemon with multi-hit contact moves, like I think we were talking about Minccino earlier, they have to be careful. Do not go for your tail slap against this thing. You'll just die. But obviously, even more important than that is having access to all of the hazards and stuff like that. And this thing is more useful. You know what? It should be out of this tier. I was right in looking for a tier higher. It should probably be up here. Because I gotta remember, it's also usable in outside of Little Cup. You know? PU. Stuff like that. I might legitimately put it. This might be the highest ranked Little Cup Pokemon. I'm thinking more and more about it. I completely forgot that this thing is also just in PU and cooks up stuff. Let's go up here. I think it mogs. It just skipped my mind. It completely skipped my mind. I was only thinking about Little Cups. So I was instinctually going up. When I heard Ferroseed, I went all the way up here because I was going to rank it this high. But then I course corrected, thinking about Little Cup specifically, and wanted to find Fungus and put it relative to Fungus. And then I was like, wait a second. Ain't this guy kind of really good in the lower tiers too? This guy's a little demon down there. Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be wherever Amoonguss is, but like probably 2 spots down. So like in this area, I think I could put Ferrothorn maybe above Pelipper, maybe below Pelipper. Would I consider Ferro better than Gliscor? Is my question. That one's harder. Maybe 2 spots below is a little egregious. It's an all-timer. I'll put it near Clefable. Maybe even above. Below. It's an all-timer. I'll put it above. Ferrothorn does the same thing all the time. It's usable in doubles if you want to use it in doubles, and it's not going to do bad in doubles at all. It's really, really goated in singles. It's usable in Ubers. It's a threat in Ubers. I'm actually probably going to put it above Venusaur. Legitimately. Honestly, it makes me want to drop Venusaur. Straight up. Putting Ferrothorn this high, it makes me want to drop Venusaur just a couple spots. Like, I think I'm gonna put it where I was gonna put Ferrothorn. Something like snapped in my head. Like, I just wanted to hate on Venusaur. I just wanted to hate on it. I don't know. Anyways. Oh god, is this Clink, Clang, and Cling Clang? Alright. I mean, I don't think Clink is bad. I don't think Clink is bad at all. It's probably more of an F tier Pokemon. I put it around maybe better than Larvitar. Maybe better than Mantike. I could put it above, like right here. And that's Shift Gear. At the end of the day, it's something that can be used and threaten you with a sweep. You can hit past 30. No. I'll put it below Trico. My biggest problem is that it's a double-edged sword, being a move like Gear Grind. Because while you can hit past 30, if this move were just like 100 power flat, you could just hit straight past berries. Berry juice, orange berry, whatever it is at that time. You could just hit straight past it. But you have to, you will activate their berry juice and stuff like that. This is in a time where berry juice existed, not now. Clang. I'm so sick of this like stupid naming scheme that they gave this thing. Clang is good. Clang is actually good, and it's a very weird one where it has that one weird moveset that uses Rest, Sleep, Talk. And you don't even have to run Shift Gear on it, but you just can. It's just being Steel. It has solid natural bulk for NFE Pokemon. I feel like I could put it around this area. Maybe a little tier separator between Gabite and Krokorok. It's good. And you don't even have to run the defensive set. You could also just grind people's gears with offensive. Obviously, it doesn't exist in Gen 9. I don't know if it'd be able to... I think it would have been able to do it fine in Gen 9, too. I think Terra would have been really nice for it, but unfortunately... not something that I ever got the ability to do. Cling Clang is okay. I would put Cling Clang probably like better than Furret. Shift Gear, it doesn't really need an explanation behind whatever that thing does. This Tynamo, god, another forgettable Pokemon. They were obsessed with making forgettable Pokemon. This thing's going in bottom of the barrel. Electric. Electric is not bad. It has great utility. Knockoff Super Fang. Being a Levitate, electric type. I'd probably put it around all of these guys. Like a couple spots below. Like above Bronzor. I like between these two. Electric is cool. I really can't say the same for Electros, though. Electros is another noob bait Pokemon. Just add that to the list. Because when you're new to the game, you look at the type chart a lot, and you're like, whoa, Electric is weak to ground. Whoa, this thing has Levitate. That ability makes it immune to ground. This thing has to be goated. Whoa, it has Giga Drain, Flamethrower, Drain Punch, Knockoff. It's so cool. And then it's just like not good. But noobs love it. It's like their diet Rotom Wash. Trust me, for a person that's like 1,000 elo, this is their Rotom Wash, okay? So I'll respect it, but there's only so much respect that I can grant it. I'm gonna put it like here. Mega Electros is better. It's just not a great Pokemon either. I would still use it above Mega Skarmory. I think it's probably like a C pluser. A lot of people really thought this thing was going to be way better than it actually is. I've always thought that its ability is just corny. Like this took like Beast Boost and put Levitate with it still because they wanted it to still have Levitate and then called it E-Levitate. That's so lame. Like, come on. That is just... Get that out of here. That's not it. They like genuinely thought they cooked too. Let's get some music back in here. What's this thing called? Elgium? I forget what it's called. I know it's Beheum is the other one. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Little alien boy. has always looked so weird. I'm not gonna lie. I've never liked this thing's design. It looks... Okay, that's not true. As a kid, I was like kind of creeped out at its design. It looks way too humanoid to me. But I actually do like its design. It did a good job. Like, that is objectively good. If it made me as a kid feel creeped out at the little alien look, then it did its job. It's supposed to be uncanny and alien-like. But he's also chopped. He's also very chopped. He's got a massive freaking... He's got, like... He's got the head the size of, like... You know, all those old, like, PBS cartoons and stuff, like, Dora, any of those sort of shows where they have that football head. He's got like a Stewie head, but if you just rotate it at 90 degrees. That's what LGM reminds me of. I think LGM is not going to be this high with the F tier guys, or the higher end of the F tier guys. I think he's going to be the lower end. I'd probably use him above, like, right here. The only, like, the biggest problem with it is that its biggest niche comes from being like a Trick Room guy. So it does better than Solosis in that regard. Maybe they could be closer together. But both of them just get mogged by Spritzy when it comes to trying to do that Trick Room thing, so it's kind of rough. Speaking of Trick Room though, Behem arrives, and it also does very similar stuff. It doesn't need Trick Room, it could use Choice Specs if it wanted to. You can also do Future Sight. I know Gen 8, it got Teleport, or Teleport got changed to being broken, so you had even more options. The thing was pretty versatile when it came to Gen 8. I don't think it exists now, but you could do things like offensive Trick Room. You could do straight up Nasty Plot. You could probably use Choice Specs. You could just use a Future Sight Teleport stuff, you know, that everything does, and that's gonna be really cool. You could also do Power Herb, Meteor Beam. Did you know this thing got Meteor Beam? Maybe you didn't. Congratulations for your new knowledge. I'm gonna put it like here. I think this is valid for a really good ZU Pokemon, but maybe that's a little too low. Maybe I'm hating. Better than Bibarel, I think. Like here. Maybe like there is okay. I want to lie, I want to raise Whiscash, but no, Whiscash, it only had that one gen. Who's next? Ooh, the Candle line. So we have Chandelure, Lampent, and whatever your name is. Litwick, right? It's a Litwick, get it? Great name. This thing is just meh. I think it's a G tier. I think it's a G tier Pokemon. I'd put it like above Azurill. Yeah, it exists. Lampent. Lampent's awkward. I feel like it's really, really nice at times. Like, it should have the ability to be better than it is. I don't think its biggest problem is that 55 stupid speed. I hate that it has 55 speed. I hate that the Chandelure line in general is just so slow. It makes sense. They're not supposed to be that fast in their design. Looks like they just kind of float around. But I don't know, it kind of annoys me that it's so slow. I'm gonna put it not better than Girafarig. Maybe like here around Lairon level. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Chandelure. Shandy. Another noob trap Pokemon, but it's not the worst thing ever. It is not the worst thing ever. I don't know what they were thinking that one time they gave this thing Shadow Tag, and then they just never gave it pet ever again. B-. I guess I could consider the time that it had Shadow Tag in what was that, just like Black and White or whatever. They were just like, nope, course correct on that. That thing's broken. Get rid of that ability. But But I put it above Darm is my question. I think so. I think so. I don't hate this ranking. It's kind of hard. I'll put it like a couple spots below. Like right there. Mega Chandelure is booty butt cheeks. I'm literally just gonna put it right next to it. They're the same exact Pokemon, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, this thing has 175 special attack, but it's the same exact thing. It is the same Pokemon. It's just, again, it's another Pokemon I wish that they made interesting with its Mega Evolution, but it literally is just Chandelure 2. It has the same problems. It doesn't do anything different. It hits harder, but it doesn't have access to unique held items. I really hate when they do that for Mega Pokemon. It's like the biggest waste ever. I'm not saying they all need to be competitively viable or something like that, but it's just lazy to me. When they could do, or not lazy, not creative. Similar, but I liked its design a lot and stuff. I would say Axew is pretty cool. I'd probably put it around wherever Gible is, but like better, a tad bit better. Like right there, like a gap between the two of them. Love Gible to death, but that's what it is. Fracture's really, really strong. It's a classic breaker, sweeper, all this stuff in NFE. I'm gonna put it in the higher end of the NFE Pokemon. Like right here. I just made it double Mog. Okay, maybe, I don't know if it double Mogs. I don't know if it double Mogs the Gible line. That might be crazy. Now, of course, Haxorus is not gonna be touching the strength. That's hard. Should I put it above or should I put it below? They're so similar, but dissimilar at the same time. Like Fracture just hits really hard on the physical side. Gabite has a lot more utility. I think Gabite is a little more consistent to me. Haxorus. Haxorus is another noob trap. But I'd probably put it maybe like here. I don't know if I can put it above Crocodile, but I think I can. Its biggest claim to fame, I think, was probably like old, really, really old Dragmag stuff. Dragmag is dragon types with Magnezone, using Magnezone to trap the Skarmory, and then using a bunch of dragon types to just win the game once you get rid of their steel type. It's valid-ish, but it just, you know, it's kind of whatever at the end of the day. It also had OU in Gen 8. Gen 8 OU was another thing where you could technically use it as a wall breaker, because like +2 close combat with Life Orb. I'm pretty sure it just nuked Corviknight maybe after rocks. I could actually check right now. Let's see. Is this truth or is it LARP? There's OU Swords Dance. Corviknight +2 close combat after rocks. It's LARP. I think you needed Adamant to do it, but then Adamant made it unreliable. Yeah. So you needed Adamant to do it, and then it made it unreliable. So this is why this thing never actually caught on. But it is something that it was able to do at some point in time. It was more like you needed a little bit of chip. You needed to chip the Corviknight one time, and then have rocks up, and then your Jolly Nature could do it. But yeah, whatever. It's not going to be that great. So nope, it is not Mog. Garchomp in the end. The Gible line will get its final win. The snot-nosed, very cute bear. I love Cubchoo. Cubchoo's so cute. The problem with Cubchoo is just that Alolan Sandshrew exists, and it never really allows. It really never allows Cubchoo to super stand out like it could. I think it's G tier. I'll probably put it above Nosepass. Above Solosis, like this. It's cute. It gets bonus points. as I put it in the G tier, not even F tier, but it's okay. It'll live. I might have just made it cry more, but it's okay. Beartic. Now, Beartic has no aura, sadly. Beartic just has no aura to speak of. I'm just going to put Beartic at a very comfortable... Wherever all the ZU Pokemon are, it's going to be there. I'll put it below. I was going to say above Golduck. I'll put it below. This thing went from being Swift Swim, not really having much synergy, and they were like, wait a second. How about we just make Swift Swim, but ice? And they probably made it for Beartic. They probably felt bad. They were just like, let's do something for Beartic. They probably were just looking at it like, dude, I think it's lame that this thing has Swift Swim. Let's just make an ice version of it. And that didn't push the needle at all, by the way. In fact, you could still use it on both. And I'm actually pretty sure it uses Swift Swim more. Not more, but you could still use both. It's crazy. I think rain teams are just more viable overall. So, neither ability is impressive. Alright, speaking of crying though, I was talking about Cubchoo making it cry, but I think Cryogonal took the tears for it. W Cryogonal. This thing's a ZUPU merchant. It exists in ZUPU pretty much all the time. Maybe Gen 5 introduction, maybe it didn't, but I mean, it does the same thing every single time. I'm gonna put it less than Regice by a little gap right there. I don't hate it at all. I don't hate Cryogonal. It exists to rapid spin, freeze dry, be fast. Its biggest flaw is just that it's a utility Pokemon that's an ice type. It's trying to be bulky, but it's an ice type. It's nice for the things that don't hit it super effectively, but that's like 8 different typings that hit it. There's fire, there's fighting, there's rock, there's steel. I think that's where it stops. Yeah, that's 4. It's not quite 8, but you know, half, close enough, basically. Who are you? Ooh, Shelmet. Shelmet, you have access to spikes, right? My favorite era of Shelmet was when Zygarde was allowed. I talk about this pretty often, but Zygarde in Gen 7 when it was allowed and clicking 1,000 arrows. Time period where some people, really on the ladder, were legitimately using Shelmet. Half as a joke, but half legitimate. Because it resisted 1,000 arrows. I don't think it got 2-hit KO by Outrage. Tanks extreme speed, tanks superpower. And it could toxic the Zygarde or set up spikes when it's forced to switch. Obviously, viable? No. Am I going to consider that its ranking? No, because it was more of a joke. It was more like something silly, like, look at what Shelmet can do, guys. Overall, I think it's just kind of mid. That's a little cut Pokemon. Maybe not quite G tier. I'd say higher than Whoop or higher than LGM. Like, I'd go here. He's chill. He's a chill guy. Who is this guy? Excelgor, right? I don't even want to say Excelgor's a noob trap Pokemon. I think noobs know it's not good when they use it. They just think he's cool. I've never thought that it looked cool because it has that stupid thing near its eye. The little, like... You see it, right? On its mask, I think this thing has always looked stupid. It always tries to look like it's cool, that it has aura, and people think it's cool. I just don't think it's cool. It looks like it has stupid little duck lips, because at the end of the day, it's because of the Shelmet, right? I hate it. It's I don't know. I hate its design. It does not look cool to me. I know it looks so cool to so many people, but it just does not look cool to me. It's always just looked too goofy, and its head shape is goofy. It's just all the way goofy. Anyways, that's not going to impact its rating. Its looks. I just kind of dunked on it for a while. I'm going to put it somewhere around this range. I think it's objectively more useful than a lot of these Pokemon because at the end of the day, it could do spike setting and stuff like that. So I'll go above Swoobat. It's not better than Swoobat probably all time, but I think it objectively had more use cases than Swoobat. You know what? I'll put it above Furret. Like right here. D- tier. It objectively has more use cases just for having spikes, being a lead, being able to encore, being able to final gambit. That's about it. Like I don't care too much for that Pokemon. Stunfisk. Okay. Well, I don't know if Stunfisk is, worth rating very highly. That they messed up with this Pokemon, so then they just tried again. They tried again and they made Bellibolt. They made Bellibolt and they did it correct that time. I think Stunfisk is probably gonna go. I think it's better than Furret. Like this is gonna be my baseline. I think it's better than Furret. Where would I place it overall? That's like harder. I'm not sure if I have it in me to put it any higher than this. Unfortunately. I don't know if it's better than Kling Klang. I just don't think it is. Maybe Matang can drop 2 tiers. Outside of that, I just don't think that I'm gonna change up the spots here. It's like it's a fine Pokemon, and I don't want to like super hate on it because I like it. It's on one of my first teams ever. I'm pretty sure when I was like a super ultra noob, because I thought it was underrated. No, it was very properly rated poorly, but I had to be different. I just had to be different. We're gonna go with Galar Stunfisk now. Galar Stunfisk is just going to be worse, I'm pretty sure. It could be higher, maybe. I'll just put them right next to each other, I think. Ooh, Mienfoo is next. I'll just put them right next to each other. Maybe like a... I think they're very relative, though. They are very relative. I think it's better. I'll do like a separation this way. Mienfoo is one of the GOATs of Little Cup ever, obviously. Needs no introduction. It's easily going to go into this E tier area. I think I'll put it up here. One of the greatest to ever do it, easily. Maybe like just below. Like Magby's still broken, but I think once you get to Vulpix, maybe this is the best honest Mienfoo. Mienfoo is probably the best honest Little Cup Pokemon. Once you get past here, I'll stop right here. I think this is like demonic territory. Maybe a Vulpix. It's Mr. Consistent. There's not much else to say about him. I gotta put it below Vulpix. Above Vulpix is tripping. The thing is, it's competing too much against these Pokemon that are just banned all the time, which is, it is what it is. When it comes to trying to do this list, I have to consider the fact that some of these Pokemon just get nuked. I might drop Ghastly a couple spots because there's a lot of gens where it doesn't get banned. And, like maybe Yanma first, maybe higher than Drifloon. But there's a lot of these guys, I probably put Vulpix up too. There's a lot of these guys that just get perma-banned. And it is what it is. It sucks for Mienfoo's legacy. Still one of the GOATs. Absolutely one of the GOATs. I can't say Mienshao is one of the GOATs, though. That would just be cap. I'd just be lying to you if I said Mienshao is one of the GOATs. Mienshao's one of the... He's a UU-RU guy. I'd say he's a UU guy. I don't think he's a RU guy. Mienshao's a UU guy. through and through. So he's gonna join all of them. They're all here around B-, all grouped together. I'd probably just put him up, like, below Nidoking. It's fine. He does, you know, you have Region Vest. You have, like, for pivoting. And then if you wanted to, you could also run Choice Scarf. You could run Life Orb. You could run Life Orb Reckless, Life Orb Regenerator, and use the Regenerator heal off. Oh, the Life Orb chip. Now, it might sound like I'm gassing it up to replace it and put it higher. I'm lying. I'm not going to do that. So, Druddigon sucks, but okay. Druddigon's got to go up to maybe around this area, like C-. I think is chill. He's a chill guy. I've always hated his design personally, but to each his own. I think the colors just look, he don't look serious enough. I don't know. I like my dragon types with aura. No whimsy. No whimsy. No joy. But Dragonite. Shush. Who the heck are you? Are you Golett? I'm the only one that thinks that Golett and Golurk should have had a middle form. Not like it would impact anything, but I just feel like it always looks like a Pokemon that should have a middle form. I feel like it takes such a tragic jump between Golett and Golurk. You know? Golett probably goes Ghost level. I don't hate it. I'll go look here. I'm not a Golett hater. Yeah, I think this is fine. Golurk, on the other hand, PU guy for life. It's in his bio. I'll probably put Golurk like here. One of these two. It's fine. Mega Golurk. Potential man. What could have been? Unfortunately, this thing sucks. I'm waiting for some person to make some sort of VGC thing about it. You know, like maybe it's a secret maybe it's a secret S tier Pokemon and we just don't know. It has Unseen Fist. You could use it as a Trick Room teammate. Unfortunately, I just don't see the vision on it. It's better than base Golurk. I would probably use it above Mega Chimecho. But that's about it. It's hard when you have a Pokemon like Golurk that you have to work with, but that's what it is. Ponyard. Ponyard is another very, very consistent, you know? Another Mr. Consistent. I would say Ponyard is probably... I wouldn't put it E tier. I'd put it around this range. So between like Mienfoo and Arcan probably. Maybe like here. And I think Arcan can move up a couple spots. Another Mr. Consistent for sure. I'll do like this. Always does the same thing. Iron Head. Knockoff. I think the biggest thing with Ponyard in current gen is that it doesn't have knockoff anymore. For some reason, they determined that the Bisharp line shouldn't have knockoff. I think it's because they didn't want King Gambit's signature move to just get mogged, which is corny, but whatever. Yeah, because nobody would be using Cleave if it had knockoff. So I'm sure that's probably why. Anyways, Bisharp. Bisharp exists. Bisharp's been good for a very long time. and then King Gambit existed, and it kind of kicked it all the way down a few tiers. It's interesting because you'd think Bisharp would be even higher. I think it also has a bit of a correlation with the fall of Defog. You have less, like, there's less cases where Bisharp is pretty consistently getting a Defiant boost from Defog blocking something. Well, you don't block the Defog, but you switch in and stomach the Defog in order to get the evasion drop for the attack boost. There's just less and less as they gutted its usability or availability of Defog. There's less. I just put Bisharp on the hyper offense team and I get Defiant and I can win. Also, it's just its speed really stands out more and more as more and more power creep happens. I think B- might not tell the full story about this Pokemon. Maybe like here, actually, like, I think that's fine. Yeah, like here. I think it's better than Mega for Alligator, probably. Like, all time. Top of B- seems pretty solid. Yep, solid Pokemon all around. I agree. Bouffalant. Boof. Big Boof. Once we get to Big Boof, this guy is interesting. I really don't know, like, if I can get in the minds of Game Freak. I can't tell if they thought they were making a good Pokemon or not when they made this. I don't know if that was their intentions. But if they thought they were cooking with this in terms of competitive, I'm not saying all Pokemon need to be, they did not cook. I'm gonna put it probably above, like, Bibarel. I don't know if that's crazy. Like here. He's chill. Would I say better than Abra? He's just a ZU Pokemon, you know? He's just a ZU Pokemon. He's fat, he can take a lot of damage, and he can hit really hard. But in terms of anything greater than that, I don't think that's ever been Bouffalant's specialty. Rufflet. Ooh, Rufflet, Mr. I'm gonna miss this move, or I'm gonna hit this move. And either way, you're either gonna be very happy or you're gonna be very sad. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is that it gets banned a lot, because when it does hit that move 80% of the time, it's broken when it hits that move. So this is definitely gonna join the E tiers. I'm gonna say it just has to be maybe like above Gothita. Maybe even above Scraggy. Nah, I'd put it below Scraggy. Rufflet, just really goated. The thing is, the only thing that would keep Rufflet from being even higher than this, and well, I'm actually going to put it below Gothita, and I might actually put it below these two, is because it didn't always have Brave Bird. You do have to remember that. It did not always have Brave Bird, you know? This little eaglet did not always have this. It was still really solid for having it, but Brave Bird is really what started to push it over the edge. Hustle, that attack stat with a 120 base power move is just insanity. So I'll drop it below. It's still broken, by the way. E tier, if you're a little Pokemon here, you're broken, okay? Braviary. This guy's like Inu's mascot, right? Like, this guy, he's just always Inu. I feel like this spot should reflect that. Let's find all his Inu brothers. I think he could literally be like top of D+. The absolute highest that I'm willing to put it is the bottom of C-. Like, right here. He's one of the most NU Pokemon ever, and like D+ to C- encapsulates that ranking. Hisuian Braviary is weirdly worst for a Pokemon that feels like it should be better. Is another Pokemon that has, okay, it doesn't have 3 good abilities, right? It has 1 stinker, but Sheer Force and Tinted Lens, it should be so much better than it actually is, but it's just not. It is what it is. If Braviary's C+ and this thing is D+, and I'd probably put it like above Togetic. You have so many options. Like you could be, bro, this thing has so many things. It has 2 broken abilities, right? Life with Sheer Force right there, and you have Tinted Lens with Choice Specs, and then it got a signature move like Esper Wing. You would think this thing would be so much better, and then it landed in PU, which is just like, it is what it is. 65 speed. That's what really happened to it. Its speed is so booty cheeks. For some reason, it just got 83 attack. I don't understand why. Like, I've never seen a Pokemon. I hate when they do that. Something is so obviously supposed to be just a special attacker, so they're like, all right, 83 attack. Congratulations. It's like if base Braviary didn't have 57 special attack, but instead had 87. Well, like, it's never gonna use. Well, maybe because it wants to use Heat Wave. No. Ooh, Volibee. Volibee is also, Volibee is, if Mienfoo is Mr. Consistent, then Volibee is Mrs. Consistent. I think Volibee is probably going to be higher, actually, just because of viability outside of Little Cup. So joining like PU and ZU and stuff like that, Volibee probably goes around where like Tangela is, I think. Like here, I could just put them next to each other. Above a Striker or something like that. Very, very, it's also good in NFE. That's another thing to consider. Wherever it goes, you know, I could drop it a good few spots. Like, relative to the NFE Pokemon, I think it's smarter. Like here. Maybe like here, right there. Volibee's chilling. Mandibuzz is very, very good. Mandibuzz is goated. Very, very, very broken Pokemon. Disgusting Pokemon. Evil Pokemon. That being said, I'm not going to rank it like crazy high. It's still always been like a UU Pokemon that can be used in OU at the end of the day. So the rank will reflect that. I think maybe you're like the spokesperson of B-. Straight up. I feel like that's a good spot to put Mandibuzz. Very top of B-. You're always something that could break past into B. But yeah, if I was considering anything goes viability, then this thing would be a little higher too. But I'm not, because it's not an official metagame in Smogon, so it's not really relevant in Ubers, unfortunately. It doesn't have anything that it needs to beat. Heatmore. Okay, it's Heatmore versus Durant. I'm just going to tell you right now, Heatmore is getting dangerously mogged. You know? So I'm just going to put Heatmore wherever the heck Rapidash is, but lower. So if Heatmore is here, then, or if Rapidash is here, then Heatmore is probably about here. It is what it is. It's just got that weird, awkward speed for some reason that they just loved giving. It doesn't look like an particularly fast Pokemon, but it is aggressively slow. And it's frail. Because it's another just mixed Pokemon. I don't know who on the design team just got Hoenn fever, and they just started making everything mixed attackers for some ungodly reason, and Heatmore unfortunately caught the brunt of it. Durant mogs. It's a brutal mog too. Whereas Durant is like a ZU, not even a ZU champion. He's a ZU grunt. He's ZU citizen. You know how Zoro's like the king of hell or whatever? But after certain events, he's more like the citizen of hell. That's what I consider Heatmore to be like. citizen of ZU. He's not even a king. Durant is more like a citizen of like RU to UU, and that's quite brutal in comparison for them to have a rivalry. I'm gonna go like, I'm feeling bottom of B minus. I think that's comfortable. Would I say better than Yanmega? Probably. Bing, bong, bing, right there. I think that's fair enough. I think that's fair enough. Better or worse than Lucario? Probably better than Lucario, actually. Probably better than Crobat, too. I think closer to Alligator. I feel like they're very relative, actually. That makes more sense in my head. Dino. Does this guy do anything? I have no idea if Dino does anything. He has Hustle. I think he technically has the strongest outrage possible in Little Cup. Right? Like Banded, Hustle. But that's not real. You need Choice Scarf to do that. I would say if it weren't for its really low speed, it would actually be something that's good. But because of its speed, I'm gonna have to put it like Bonsly tier. Even though Hustle should have technically made it really good, it just doesn't end that way. Zuelis, on the other hand, it's definitely a demonic beast. Now this thing, it still has the same speed issue, but 85 attack is way more significant. I'm gonna put it around, let's see where it stacks up. Maybe just around the other dragons. I could put it like a touch below the other dragons. Let me have it right near a fairy type. Grambo's yelling at it. They're having an argument. They're having an argument right now. So yeah, he's like, no, you're not getting past me. Okay, I'm a fairy type. I own you. Okay. Hydreigon. Hydreigon's very good. Very good. I would I'd put Hydreigon pretty high up there. You know, it's like a UU Pokemon at heart, and then it gets a good bit better when it comes to other things. I might go either B+ or A-. Honestly, I don't hate either ranking. I feel like it's doing pretty solid in Champions right now. But Hydreigon has never really been in like OU Pokemon in my personal opinion. I think the only generation it ever had OU was Gen 5, right? Where it first came out in the first place. And ever since he's been like UU's hero. So, very viable in OU still. It's still usable in OU during those times. I think either B+ or just A- is fine. I'll go like here. Be under Magnezone. I think under Magnezone is valid. Better than Charizard X though. I like this. Right there. Below Porygon 2. Maybe above Porygon 2. How about that? Hydreigon's very good. Larvesta. Larvesta is another very consistent LC Pokemon. It's deceptively good because it doesn't run heavy-duty boots, despite being Bug Fire. Violet is still just that good, and it's a very consistent Pokemon. I'd put it around all these guys. I think you put it like wherever Ponyta is, and you drop it like a spot or two, you know? It still has a great niche over Ponyta. Being able to U-turn pivot around is fantastic. The trade-off is just now you're 4 times weak to Rock. And have a whole other slew of weaknesses and stuff, but hey. I can't be mad at it. Volca freaking Rona. Volcarona is probably A- tier. I could probably say like better than you. I would say that is comfortable enough. I don't know if it goes past Mega Swampert, but A- seems fair enough to me. Very, very strong Pokemon. One of the best. One of the best. Oh, Balion. Or Ballin. Balion is a weird one. You know, you have Swords Dance sets that you could run. You have Calm Mind sets that you can run. You can run Stealth Rock. You can run Iron Defense Body Press and current gens. You have probably Assault Vest probably existed at some point in time. Cabalion's very, very, very versatile. Has a great typing. Justified as a nice ability too, because it, you know, tanks knockoffs very well. I think this thing, I don't want to put it B tier. I think it's a very B- Pokemon. I think it's a very B-. Better than Mamoswine, probably. Maybe like one touch worse. Like right there. I really, really appreciate the versatility that Cobalion brings to the table, though. That's all I can say. Next up, though, Terrakion. Ooh, Terrakion is very good. It's seen better days. That's all I can say. It's definitely seen better days. I would put Terrakion... Currently, Cobalion is better. All time, though. All time, I think Terrakion deserves probably the bottom of B. If I'm thinking all time... Like, Cobalion is a Pokemon that was really UU for a lot of its lifespan. Terrakion would consistently get banned from UU. It does have doubles viability, thanks to having Rock Slide, thanks to having Quick Guard and stuff like that, so it has utility in that aspect. I'd probably go like above Slowbro, maybe. Or maybe like right here. I think Terrakion is definitely a B tier. Now, current day, Terrakion, not where it used to be. Not where it used to be. You know? Nah, I could go just a touch higher. Can we get much higher? Let's go like... here. Under. Over. Under. Over. Under. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe a little lower than Tangrowth. Above, why not? There you go. Why not? Virizion. Okay, well, we did all debating on that, and then we just get a stinker. So Virizion is just not great. It is what it is. There's not much else to say about this Pokemon. I would probably put it around... less than Gallade, maybe like Frostlass range. Better than Frostlass. Right here. Better than Mega Scolipede. I'd probably just use it over Mega Scolipede. Tornadus. We're into the final stretch of these Pokemon. Tornadus Incarnate form is definitely good. Definitely very good. It's more of a doubles Pokemon than it is a singles Pokemon. That's very clear. The ranking is going to reflect that. Then when it comes to doubles, it's probably like a B+ Pokemon. Or not even B+, probably like an A tier Pokemon. When it comes to singles, it's probably more of a B-. So if it's A and B-, the middle is B+. Congratulations, you're a B+ Pokemon. I might put you at the lower end of A-, just to have a little more, bias on the doubles impact. Very, very great in the doubles realm. Honestly, I might even go even higher. Like right here. I think Smeargle's the gatekeeper. Tornadus Therian, though. Ooh, who's better all time between these two? Now, Torn T's like the exact opposite. Torn T doesn't really exist in doubles as far as I'm aware, but it's a singles goat. I think I'll put Torn T where I was going to put Tornadus Incarnate. Torn is one of the best singles Pokemon for OU specifically. Definitely not of like Ubers, but it's like top of OU type of area. B+ is where a lot of the OU consistent Pokemon are. I think Torn is just a touch better. It did get banned in Ubers. Not in Ubers. It got banned in Gen 5 from OU and sent to Ubers. I feel like it's good enough to be probably around either above Excadrill or below Excadrill. I'd put above Excadrill for now. Maybe better than Mega Latios, and maybe better than these two. I don't know about better than Ditto all time. Yeah, better than Ditto all time. When I think about Ditto all-time ranking, I might have Ditto be the gatekeeper of A-. The problem with Ditto, of course, is that it's always... You always have to remember, before Black and White, this thing did not have the imposter ability. So yeah, but I think Torn T in singles blows Tornadus Incarnate out of the water. When it comes to doubles, it's the exact opposite effect. So why not just have them both in the same tier? Why not have them both in the same tier? Or I could do... Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick to this. It should be Thundurus next, right? Yes, Thundurus Incarnate. Thundurus is going to be very high up there too. I would probably put Thundurus in A tier. If Torn is an A-, I think I would put Thundy in A. Like right here. Very good in doubles, of course, as well. Just like Tornadus. Tornadus might be better, but Thundurus is right there. The thing is, Thundurus has singles presence. Unlike, I'm actually going to put Thundurus even higher. Thundurus might even be A+ low-key, but I'll put it here for now. This thing is pretty much like Perma, OU, UUBL. The only exception is current gen. It also did get banned in in Gen 5 from OU and sent to Ubers. I feel like maybe I lead this with with Tornadus. They can like pose together. How about that? Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Thundurus Therian, unfortunately, I don't quite think it's there. I would put Thundy T in maybe the lower end of, maybe the top end of B. Thundy T just isn't the same, unfortunately. It's good, but yeah, I probably wouldn't even put it above, I'd put it above Terrakion maybe. Thundy T's just not on that level. Lando Incarnate. I'm gonna probably put Lando in A+. I think it's better than both Dragonites. Honestly, I don't want to drop Dragonite and Mega Dragonite. Like here. And maybe like one gap. Maybe a few gaps separation between the two, like here. I thought more about it. You gotta remember, Dragonite, you know, generation 1, 2, 3. Not really the guy he is today. Not really the same. Like, in a bad sense. He was worse back then. When it comes to Landorus, it's probably like, it might just be A+. I think I'm gonna go like top of A+. So we can have them all posed up together. Even then, what if I do this? Bing, bong, boom. In S tier. Landorus is just always banned from OU, right? For singles, it's always an Uber's Pokemon. It's not like always relevant in Uber's, but it's always banned from OU. That's a fact. It is always really, really good in doubles because, well, it's broken. I think this is more accurate. Would I put it above Heatran all time? Yes, I think I would. But I put Heatran this high though. I think Heatran might drop like a couple spots. Like here. I think the ones that have just always been right there. Landorus Therian is also really, really good. I think Lando T should also join the S tier. I don't know if they're quite Landorus Incarnate level because, I mean, they're not really, you know, banned from OU all the time. They're just like an OU staple all the time. Landorus Therian and Great Tusk, I think, would be great friends. I think they get along. And then Great Tusk would Ice Spinner and backstab it. So, I mean, maybe they wouldn't be great friends. But, better than Chomp all time? Maybe. I think Galarian Darmanitan's just gonna play Gatekeeper. The 2 4 times Ice Weak guys, they're not getting past him. Look how he's posed up. Nope, you ain't getting past me. Definitely, I don't think there's much argument for it being in an all-time list, being an S-tier Pokemon. I mean, it's reliable. Even you could even use it in Ubers. I might even actually put it just a touch higher, like right. Maybe he gets past. He's gonna gatekeep Garchomp. He's pissed off. Garchomp's like, yo, what the heck are you doing, man? Let me get past. Nope, I ain't letting you get past, cause you can't get past. Why, bro? Hold this, I just go crash. I'm gonna fall to A tier. I'm sorry, I don't know what that was. Anyways. Let's bring Lando right here. Lando being lower than Wobbuffet feels silly, but Wobbuffet is broken, so it's not his fault. But I'll put it right here. Yeah. Lando T's GOAT wherever he breathes, okay? Lando T is GOAT wherever he breathes. That's a crazy glaze, but I will, I'm not gonna ignore the glaze. I'm gonna let my own glaze pass. Theorem is such a weird one, where if you were judging this thing before it got freeze dry and stuff like that, you would probably put it around like B, but post freeze dry, you could probably put it B+. Better than Victini, maybe better than Celebi, all time. This thing did get banned from Generation 8 OU. That's something else that you have to consider, and I might just put it higher purely because of that. Really great in Smogon doubles. That's another factor. I'm gonna put him A-, I think. In Smogon doubles, OU is pretty chill. Yeah. I think A- is fine. No. Top of B+. Ditto Gate keeps you. It's just like I'm considering the rest of its history, you know? The rest of its history, it's UUBL, RUBL, RUBL, and then randomly just gets free shiny, it's bad. You know? Let's do the stud roost. It can still do broken choice stuff. This time it doesn't have roost anymore, so taking generation 9. But it still manages to say OU because of free stride being really, really good. Next up, though, we have Reshiram. Oh my god, we have Reshiram. This guy is decently strong. I would say that the problem with Reshiram probably largely just comes from the fact that once it's in Ubers, he's not like the most goated pick you could ever choose, but he's certainly up here. I would probably put Reshiram like above Heatran. He's chill. He doesn't get in the way. He's chill. He's just not spectacular, you know? In Ubers. But he's banned, so he's automatically going to be higher than this stuff. Zekrommingtons. Zekrommingtons, I think I would put Zekrom like a gap between it and Reshiram. Like a Landorus-Darien-sized gap between it and Reshiram. Zekrom has always pretty much mogged it, even if it's not the most significant mog. The fact of the matter is, it's just better across the generations. I might even make the gap a little bigger, like that. Zekrom's just better. It is what it is. Reshiram's chill though. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What do we have next? Ooh, Kyurem Black and Kyurem White. So it's gonna be the opposite in here. Kyurem White mogs Kyurem Black. Zekrom mogs Reshiram. Honestly, current day Ubers, with the existence of like loaded dice, you could say that Kyurem Black has regained its spot over Kyurem White. But historically speaking, no. Kyurem Black should probably be in S tier. I could see someone saying A+. Because for a lot of its history, it is OU. Right, but as soon as it started getting, as soon as it got Icicle Spear, they were like, all right, fine, here, have a freaking move. Then it instantly rose. I think I'm fine with going here over Garchomp. I also want there to be more of a gap between Lando T and Sir Chompingtons. But then Lando I also has to be really high up. Hey, that's annoying. That is annoying. I feel like Lando I is just more broken. I'd probably do like this. Lando I is very close to being a double S Pokemon. Anyways, I put Kyurem Black where? Bottom of S? I think that's fair enough. I would take Kyurem White. And Kyurem White just has to have like a couple bit of separation between it. Like right here, maybe. Better than Wobbuffet. might just make Wobbuffet the gatekeeper. Every time I look at Wobbuffet being above a Pokemon, I feel like I put it there to rage bait people. Because it's silly, even though it is this broken. It would just rage bait people. Bro, my Super Auriful Legendary is lower than Wobbuffet. Probably. Maybe Garchomp. Maybe Garchomp falls to A+. Yeah, actually that's what it is. I think Garchomp just falls to A+. Just after more consideration. Keldeo. I really wish that the Resolute form actually had a tangible difference. Isn't the only difference that it is like forced to run Secret Sword or something like that, whereas base form Keldeo doesn't like have to run it? Or is Secret Sword just what activates your ability to like own it? Then you can take the move off. I forget. Either way, Keldeo is chill. Keldeo's peak was definitely like Gen 5 to 6, and then Toxapex existed. Once Toxapex existed, it became noticeably less broken. But Keldeo's chill. Keldeo's cool. I think Keldeo should be around this range. Maybe better than Snorlax all time. That might be crazy. Yeah, I think that's not crazy. It could be crazy. Better than Zordax. They'll do that. Keldeo's cool. I vibe with Keldeo. Meloetta. Okay, the two forms are not worth ranking separately. I'm just going to pick base Meloetta because base Meloetta typically could decide to use the Pirouette form if it wanted to. I feel like you don't really use the Pirouette form like that. So I'm not going to rank them separately. I'll just rank them as one. Meloetta is more of a B- area Pokemon. Like, I would say better than Infernape, probably. Maybe worse. I would say like right here. Right there. There you go. Shaman level. B- Pokemon. Meloetta is always that Pokemon that I feel like could have been so much cooler than it ended up being. But whatever. I wish that it's weird. I feel like Relic Song should have transformed. If Meloetta were made in generation like 9 or 8, Relic Song would change into some sort of broken, disgusting physical move. But it just turns into a dead slot if you want to use both. If you want to use that form, you know? If you switch to Pirouette, you just can't use Relic Song ever again unless you want to switch back to the other stupid form. So Pirouette form just doesn't exist. If it were made in Gen 9, maybe it would just be like a form change activate. You have it in the moveset and it becomes Pirouette on release as well, you know? But nope, you're made in Gen 5. Unfortunately, you're not as broken. Speaking of broken, though, Holy Aura, Genesect has arrived. Genesect is double S. Genesect is double S. I don't think that needs much. I mean, I could see it having debate, but it's the fact that this thing is also usable, you know, in doubles. So I really don't think it should have debate. Like doubles OU, not VGC. It doubles OU. This thing is so broken in doubles OU. Also really, really disgusting in Gen 5 Ubers. Afterwards, I don't recall it being anything crazy, which is why I kind of want to just put it at the very bottom. Maybe I put it like here. Yeah, I just put it there. It's really, really crazy in Gen 5 Ubers. Absolutely disgusting. But then in Gen 6 Ubers, he's a bum. Gen 7 Ubers, he's a bum. And that's just how it goes. Gen 8 Ubers. He's a bum. Well, I guess this can reflect it decently well. It's just his doubles. Doubles impact is kind of crazy. It's just not VGC. It's only doubles OU. Who is next? Oh, that's it. That's it for Generation 5. Arceus is going to get replaced? No, it's not. It's just not possible. It's not possible. This Pokemon is gross. It's all Arceus forms. Like, I have to reiterate that. It's every... This isn't just Arceus normal. If this was just Arceus normal, yes, this guy's not triple S. Just Arceus normal is probably like a double S. This is every Arceus form ever from Generations 4, where he isn't even allowed in Ubers. He's not even allowed in Ubers. All the way to Generation 9. He doesn't exist in Gen 8. That's it. Every form. Every form. Now, there's going to be a lot of Pokemon here. This Triple S is going to fill up. Do not get me wrong. There's going to be Zacian. There's going to be Miraidon. There's going to be Calyrex Shadow. There's going to be Koraidon. There's going to be a lot of Pokemon that are going to join this Triple S tier. This thing is, it's every form. When I go back at the very end of the list, maybe, just maybe, I'll add the images of the other Arceus forms and then split them separately. But, again, every form ever. All generations. Like, I mean, Xerneas might join here too. I don't even, yeah, Xerneas maybe. All of them. I think the biggest detractor when it comes to trying to consider Arceus is like something that's not even its own fault. And it's that it can't have doubles impact because it's just not ever been allowed to have a shot at it, you know? That's the only thing that you could take away from Arceus. And that's where I could see Calyrex jumping the hoop and yoinking the very, very top spot. But, I mean, I can't judge it on an aspect that it's not even able to be judged in, you know? It's like if I was trying to... If I lowered LeBron as an athlete because of his soccer skills. You know? It's like he doesn't play it, you know? I just don't think it... I don't know. I don't know if it makes sense. It's like if I ranked MKLeo is not that great as a gamer because he doesn't play chess. Like, he's not... Like, he doesn't do chess competitions, man. Arceus doesn't do doubles because he's a freaking mythical, so they said no, you're not allowed. You're not allowed. But I'm pretty sure a Pokemon with extreme speed will be broken in that anyway, so I mean, thank God. Again, every Arceus form, like, you could go down a list. You can pick your generation if you want. It doesn't even matter. And you're gonna be able to name 3 different Arceus types that are at least in the top 10 of that Ubers format. You're gonna be able to name 3 to maybe even 4 different Arceus forms. You go to Black White, you got Arceus Ghost, you got Arceus Normal, you got Arceus Fighting. I mean, if you want to go over to Generation 6, you're gonna have Arceus Normal, you're gonna have Arceus Ground, Arceus Water is there, Arceus Ghost is there. You're gonna go all the way to Gen 7, and you're gonna have Arceus Ground, you're gonna have Arceus Water, you're gonna have Arceus Dark, and you're gonna have Arceus Normal. Scarlet and Violet, just not a thing. But you go to current Gen 9, Arceus Normal, Arceus Fairy, Arceus Ground, Arceus Water, Arceus Ghost. It's he's got too much aura. It's too much versatility because they all do different things. Even if it's some of the same few Arceus forms, he does too many things. Mega Ray is fairly one-dimensional by comparison. You click the Dragon Ascent, yep, he do the damage. It's a lot of freaking damage. I don't want to oversimplify it. I'm not going to downplay the Pokemon that I have number 2 on the list of probably like 600 Pokemon so far. Definitely not me downplaying it, but Mega Ray clicks Swords Dance, or it clicks Dragon Dance, or it runs a Mix Set, or it runs Choice Band, or it runs Choice Scarf. And there you go. That's like its sets. Then Arceus is Swords Dance Extreme Speed, or it's a defensive bulkier set, or it's bulk up, or it's not even normal Arceus, it's a fairy type one, and the fairy type one has Iron Defense, Calm Mind. Oh nope, it doesn't. Whoops, it has Power Gem. Oh, it doesn't have Power Gem, it has Earth Power. Whoops, nope, it doesn't. It has Thunder Wave. Oh nope, it's an older generation. It has Toxic or Willow. Yeah. It's just, it defogs. Like back then, it used to have defog. It sets up Stealth Rock. I mean, it's just a disgusting Pokemon. All time as well. Again, you can't even forget the fact Diamond and Pearl. This is another Pokemon people forget is AG at some point, but because nobody really plays DPP. This thing was AG before Mega Ray. Like that's a fun fact a lot of people don't know. This Mega Ray created the Anything Goes tier, as in like they made a playable format to allow banned Pokemon. Like ours, Mega Ray was the like catalyst of that. I guess he just has so much aura, he's so cool. Arceus has the Farseus Ubers thing, but that's somewhat slightly more recent-ish of a development. It's not as known either. But that thing got banned from Ubers. They didn't even care either. They didn't even leave a form. Like you can't even use Arceus Bug. Like, I don't know why you use Arceus Bug in regular Ubers, but you can't. They didn't even leave any nuance. They said no Arceus allowed at all. So in my personal opinion, he's the best. He's the best. The only change of heart, the only Pokemon I'm willing to give a change of heart to is Calyrex Shadow. Because that Pokemon is absolutely vile. Like, it's going to take at least number 2. But I think for every Arceus form is absurd. It's unfair. The only way that Calyrex is going to take number 1 is if I split the Arceus forms up. Which I might end up doing, because they are very different. And there are a lot of Arceus forms that are bums. Arceus Ice. Who the heck is bro? Arceus Psychic. He's okay. Like Arceus Grass. Arceus Bug. Like there's some stinkers that would just be at the very bottom of S. It's just too crazy. It's too many forms. Anyways, we are done with Generation 5. When I said Generation 5 was stronger, I think on average, maybe. I think it had a lot less like super ultra top tiers. But I think its average area of like A+ all the way down to maybe like C+. A+ to B-, I think it had way more Pokemon than a lot of the others. So the power creep continues. So once we get to Generation 6, you want to know what's coming up next? There's Real Hitters down here. Xerneas is down here creeping. Yveltal's creeping. Zygarde creeping. Zygarde complete creeping. Is Mega Zygarde even allowed? I forget. Like, not like allowed as in, is it unbanned? I just mean like, can you even pick it at all? Like, did it exist? I forget. Like, is it a playable Pokemon in No, I don't think Zygarde exists in Champions. If it would, I would absolutely know. Okay, no. That was a Legends ZA thing, right? Or something like that. Oh, no, not even Legends. This is when Champions first got added to Pokemon Showdown that you could ever even consider picking it. Okay, never mind. Zygarde's demonic. Yeah, there's a lot of demons still down here. I think this might be a more tame dex, though, now that I'm really looking at it. Now that I'm really looking at it, Gen 6 might be a step down in terms of power creep. We'll see, though. We will pick up next time for the next stream, Gen 6. Will Xerneas and Yveltal take over some top spots? Spoiler freaking alert. Yes, obviously, they're going to be here. Okay? No surprise. They're going to be Triple S. But find out for the rest of them, like Greninja, Aegislash, Talonflame. Ooh, Talonflame's going to be interesting all the time because, you know, early Talonflame was a demon with Gale Wings, and they nerfed it, I guess. But, hey, some things remain unnerfed. That's just how Pokemon work.